Good luck, Steelers. Pittsburgh's banking on you. J.D. Fogarty just points out that it has just started to rain a little bit out here now. I heard that broadcast, and I think that gentleman should be commended for his generosity.
Yeah, and, you know, like I said, just a working stiff, but that's the spirit of the Steelers. Anyhow, getting down to the ball game, Jack, some people say Steeler linebackers will make the difference. Some say it'll be Bradshaw. Some say Lynn Swan. Better than 2 out of every 3 writers pick the Steelers. Better than 2 out of every 3 National Football League head coaches pick the Steelers. If you're picking the Cowboys, you're apt to say that the difference for them will be their defensive line, or perhaps Tony Dorsett. The Cowboys will try to lure the Steelers. Offensively, they'll try to lure them into mistakes. That's what their multiple offense is all about. And if they succeed, they will break Tony Dorsett for the big one. Tony Dorsett, excuse me. That is their design.
I'm going to stick with the colloquial pronunciation this afternoon because we're talking to Pittsburgh people, and they knew Tony wins.
Yeah, but Tony said to me on a recent talk show, he says, listen, this year, Myron, play by my ground rules. So I said, that's fair enough. There's Mike with the terrible towel. And the Steeler fans, who is it? Not Mike, it's Swan. He's got his own terrible towel.
Starting lineup for the Steelers, Johnny Stallworth, 6'2", 183 pounds in his 5th year from Alabama A&M. And Lynn Swan at 6 feet 180, 5th year from Southern Cal, the wide receivers. Boy, the Steelers are being introduced and greeted by their fans. John Kolb, the 10-year veteran from Oklahoma State at left tackle. Sam Davis, the offensive captain, in his 12th year from Allen at left guard. Mike Webster, 5-year veteran from Wisconsin at center, wearing that towel looped in his trousers for Terry Bradshaw to wipe his hands on. Jerry Mullins, the 8-year veteran from Southern Cal at right guard. Starting at right tackle will be Ray Pinney in his 3rd year from Washington. The tight end, one of the most talked about players down here, Randy Grossman, the 5-year veteran from Temple, who made it big this year, filling in for Benny Cunningham, who is still not ready to play football and is anticipating an operation very soon to have him ready for the '79 campaign. Quarterbacking Terry Bradshaw, the top QB in the NFL at 6'3", 215 in his 9th year from Louisiana Tech. Rocky Blyer, a running back in his 10th year from Notre Dame. And Franco Harris in his 7th year from Penn State. That's the way they go on offense. Defensively, for the Dallas Cowboys, Ed, 5-year veteran from Tennessee State. At left tackle, Jethro Pugh, State. He may not start. If he doesn't, Larry Cole, the 11-year veteran from Hawaii, will be the starter. Randy White will be matched up opposite Sam Davis in his 4th year from Maryland. Joe Green says that could be a key matchup in this game. Randy White at right tackle. Harvey Martin at right end, 6-year veteran from East Texas State. The linebackers, Thomas Henderson on the left side, 4-year veteran from Langston. In the middle, Bob Brunig in his 4th year from Arizona State. On the right side, D.D. Lewis in his 10th year from Mississippi State. The left cornerback, Benny Barnes, 7-year veteran from Stanford. On the right corner, Aaron Kyle in his 3rd year from Wyoming. The strong safety, Charlie Waters, 9-year veteran from Clemson. The free safety, Cliff Harris, in his 9th year from Ouachita State in Oklahoma. Down below, they are introducing the Cowboys. The Steelers are the visiting club, but they're wearing the uniform that they wear at home, the black jerseys, the white numerals, the gold pants. The Cowboys are wearing the metallic blue helmets, the white jerseys with blue numerals, and the metallic blue trousers. A Shell from South Carolina State. For Dallas, Tony Hill from Stanford and Drew Pearson from Tulsa, the wide receivers. Pat Donovan at left tackle, Herbert Scott at left guard, John Fitzgerald at center. Tom Rafferty at Penn State, the right guard. Rayfield Wright from Fort Valley State at right tackle. Billy Joe Dupree, the tight end. Roger Staubach, the quarterback. The running backs, Tony Dorsett and Scott Laidlaw. And that's the way they'll go for the Cowboys, who will receive to our left. And they get a line deep. Butch Johnson and Larry Brinson are stationed down near the goal line. Roy Girella tees it up at the 35-yard line and will kick it off for the Pittsburgh Steelers, right to left. The wind is gusting. It will be a factor today, I believe. Here comes Girella, and he kicks it spinning downfield, bouncing at the 10, back to the 5, taken by Johnson out over the 15, to the 20, the 25, hit hard at the 27.5-yard line. Johnson brought down. He got a hit from Dennis Winston, the second-year man from Arkansas, Dirt Winston.
Steelers with a little different type of kick coverage. Instead of having Jack Delaplane running down ahead to make the tackle, they had Jack Delaplane, being one of the trail men, to just make sure that Butch Johnson didn't find his way up the alley and go all the way. But Dirt came in there and nailed Johnson at the 28-yard line of the Cowboys.
Robert Newhouse starts as a running back, 7-year veteran from Houston. They shift Dorsett off the eye, bring him back to the top of the eye with a man in the slot to the right. They take him in motion. Drew Pearson out to the left. Staubach hands it off to Dorsett, trying to get outside to the left, turns the corner and is knocked out of bounds by Donnie Shell at the 36.5-yard line. Mel Blunt over to help cover on the play as Dorsett managed to evade one on-rushing Steeler and then get outside and go to the sideline. He picks up about 8 yards.
And that on-rushing Steeler was right linebacker Lauren Taves, who got a hand on Dorsett and would have brought him down at the line of scrimmage, but Dorsett, with that tremendous burst of speed, was able to outrun Taves and turn that corner. Good first play for the Dallas Cowboys, 9 yards.
This time, Drew Pearson is set out to the left. Tony Hill is wide to the right. Regular split backs behind Staubach on second down and short yardage. And the give to Dorsett, leaps over the right side of the line, over the 45, the 50, and goes to the Steeler 47-yard line as they open it up quickly for Tony Dorsett. And Donnie Shell makes the tackle. First down, Cowboys.
Well, you give Tony Dorsett a crack, and he is through there, and he found a crack up the middle that time. He just has that great speed. You cannot afford to give him any kind of running room in there.
16 yards and 2 carries for Dorsett. At the Steeler 47-yard line, Steve Furness and John Banaszak are now in that front four. Furness from Rhode Island, Banaszak from Eastern Michigan. Shifting Dorsett to the top of the eye. Staubach on the long count. Gives the ball off to Newhouse, and he's in trouble. Almost a broken play. Staubach seemed to lose his footing, stayed on his feet. L.C. Greenwood made the tackle as Robert Newhouse, the 215-pound running back, now recovered. 7-year veteran from Houston, picks up no yardage. Second down and 10. We note that Burton Lawless comes on. He and Rafferty will bring the plays from Tom Landry at the near side of the field. Tony Dungy replaces Lauren Taves. Dungy becomes a 5th defensive back for the Steelers. His first official play in the Super Bowl. I said, will you be nervous? He said, no. Said all the playoffs are the same. Pitch back, goes to Dorsett. Running outside to the right. Makes his cut over the 40 to 35 down the sideline. And out of bounds at the 34-yard line. Tony Dorsett stopped by Mike Wagner and Donnie Shell. But not before he had picked up another first down for the Cowboys.
Dorsett on a deep pitch, getting up good speed and running inside Ron Johnson, the Steelers' left cornerback. Dorsett's speed is really something, but we know all about that, having seen him play for Pitt for 4 years. And he got by Johnson and picked up the first down. So far it's been Dorsett, 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 scoreless in the early minutes of this ball game.
3 carries for 38 yards for Tony D. The ball is at the 34-yard line in Steeler territory. This time they have 2 tight ends in there, Dupree and Jackie Smith. Sending Pearson in motion, then reversing the ball to him. A fumble recovered by the Steelers. Joe Green has it for Pittsburgh. John Banaszak has it. Number 76, not 75. Are you sure of that? John Banaszak, Lou says.
Drew Pearson on the flea flicker loses the football. I said Tom Landry would try an early gadget play. He did. It backfired as it did last year against the Denver Broncos when they fumbled on a similar play on the first play from scrimmage. The Steelers at their own 46.
Sent him in motion to the left, brought him back to the right on the reverse. And he fumbled the football. We'll check the Dallas defense for you. Here's Blyer blocking for Franco, running to the right. Cuts forward and is nailed at the 45-yard line. Couple of yards lost. Charlie Waters up to cover the play. Cliff Harris working with him. Jones up in that front 4. Anchoring it at left end. Larry Cole is at left tackle in place of Jethro Pugh, who has been troubled with an injury. Randy White and Harvey Martin. Henderson, Bruning, and Lewis are the linebackers. Barnes and Kyle on the corners. Waters and Harris are the safeties. Bradshaw, the Steeler quarterback, on 2nd down and 11, a 1-yard loss. Swan is in the slot to the left side. Bradshaw at his own 45-yard line. On a long count, shifting by the Dallas defense. And he gives the ball to Blyer. And Blyer runs into trouble at the line of scrimmage, then dives forward to the 47-yard line. And Randy White was there to make the tackle. That's Franco. Get the idea we're up high?
Yeah, it is up high. Well, Franco's having his troubles so far. Of course, it's only 2 plays. But the Steelers, 3rd down and 9, and maybe Mr. B on the obvious passing down will be letting it go.
Brunig and Lewis out, Hegman in at linebacker, and an extra defensive back, Randy Hughes, in. They go into the nickel defense. Slot right formation for the Steelers on 3rd down and 9. Bradshaw's back there, and he fires under pressure, and it is caught by Stallworth at the Dallas 40-yard line. And the play is blown dead as Stallworth made a great reaching catch and then was corralled by Randy Hughes and Cliff Harris. He has a 1st down at the Cowboy 40.
They had the blitz coming, 1-man blitzing as expected. The Cowboys do love to blitz, and who did John Stallworth beat coming across the middle but the loudmouth number 2, Cliff Harris.
1st down and 10 yards to go at the Dallas 40-yard line. Mike Webster goes over the football for the Pittsburgh Steelers, and Terry Bradshaw steps under center. Strong left formation. The tight end is Randy Grossman, and Bradshaw is back, rolling out to the left, throwing on the move, and it is snared by Stallworth out of bounds. Incomplete. Stallworth down just inside the 30. They have us located in the crowd, and on every play this crowd will come up, and we'll be looking at heads. Aaron Kyle and Charlie Waters over to cover. But they're 2 very staunch members of the crew. Lou Kreck and J.D. Fogarty are, I think, standing. Kreck is sitting on something now. Now up go the umbrellas. We may be wiped out completely today, Myron.
Boy, that was a sweetie of a one-handed grab by Stallworth. Too bad he was out of bounds. What a catch.
Wide men both ways for the Steelers. 2nd down 10. Hand off to Blyer. Trying to get outside behind a Franco block. He barely turns the corner at the 40. And is out of bounds at the Dallas 38-yard line. Benny Barnes, the cornerback, making the play, the 7-year veteran from Stanford. Advancing the ball to the 38-yard line. It is going to be 3rd down and 8. And here comes Randy Hughes back on and Mike Hegman on as they go to the 5-man secondary.
Benny Barnes may be the weak link in the Dallas secondary. He's been troubled by a bum foot much of the season. He led the Cowboys in interceptions, but some theorize he only did so because teams tried so often to pick on him and threw the ball his way so often.
Rain is coming down pretty good now, and the wind is whipping up here at the Orange Bowl. 3rd down and 8. Steelers have the wind behind them. Bradshaw is back. Bradshaw firing, and it is caught by Grossman at the 28-yard line. Randy Grossman made the catch. Benny Barnes made the tackle. And Grossman picks up a 1st down for the Steelers at the Dallas 28-yard line.
A typical Randy Grossman play. He runs downfield. He stops right in front of Benny Barnes. He says, okay, Bradshaw, throw me the ball. I'll take whatever kind of a hit that guy can put on me. He catches the ball. He takes the hit. He gets up, and it's a first down at the Dallas 28-yard line.
First down and 10 yards to go. No score in the ball game at the Orange Bowl in Miami. Steelers at the Dallas 28-yard line. Bradshaw calling the shots for the Pittsburgh Steelers here in Super Bowl 13. Bradshaw hesitates and then throws deep for Stallworth in the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Johnny Stallworth caught it between two Dallas Cowboys, and the Steelers are on the board first. How about that? Aaron Kyle, Cliff Harris, D.D. Lewis all over there, and Stallworth goes up. And down below, Swan and Stallworth go into a little dance, throw their fists up in the air. It is 6-0 Pittsburgh.
Fantastic. You betcha. People were saying Lynn Swan. Some people were saying we'll make the difference. But you know the story. The Steelers can go to Stallworth. And that time, two men could not, and he sometimes does draw double coverage, could not stop him from making an excellent catch. And the Steelers, after giving ground to the Dallas Cowboys, roar back to take the lead, 6-0.
7 plays, 53 yards. Roy Jarrella will go for the point after. The ball is down. Jarrella kicks it. It is good. The Steelers lead 7-0 in Super Bowl 13, and we'll be right back.
Terry Bradshaw throwing 3 for 4 on the touchdown drive, getting excellent protection from his offensive line. And no, he had perfect protection on the 28-yard touchdown toss. It was not a typical Bradshaw pass. It was a wobbly pass. It floated, and yet it floated just far enough that John Stallworth was able to beat 2 Dallas defenders to that ball. So the Steelers, with 9 minutes and 47 seconds remaining in the first period, lead the Dallas Cowboys in Super Bowl 13, 7-0.
Roy Jarrella tees it up for the second time this afternoon on a blustery day in Miami. Larry Brinson down deep for the Dallas Cowboys, and Butch Johnson. Brinson to the far side to the right of the kicker. Johnson to the near side to the left. And Jarrella will kick it off right to left. Here comes Jarrella. He kicks it high. Down around the 10, pulled in by Brinson. Out over the 20, the 25, hit and brought down at the 28-yard line. Brinson on the return. Mosier down there to get a hit with Robin Cole to make the stop for the Steelers. And the Cowboys have 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line.
And by the way, official confirmation, Jack, you were right. It was John Banaszak who recovered that fumble that started the Steeler drive. They tell me downstairs it was Banaszak.
Lou Kreck was absolutely on the money.
All right.
Right on the money. Elsie Greenwood, Joe Green, Steve Furness, and John Banaszak in the front 4. Taves pulled up tight on the right side, and Lambert plugs the gap in the middle. Cowboys give it a double wing look and then bring Dorsett into the backfield again on the shift. Here's Staubach running into Dorsett, going down on one knee and then throwing it away. He faded back, ran into Dorsett, and then tried to hit Newhouse and threw it low. And a great rush on him from Dwight White and Steve Furness. He barely got rid of it. And the Cowboys may be a little bit upset at the moment.
Yes, they blew that play. What Dorsett was doing standing there behind him, unless he was going to come out of the backfield on a delay as a receiver, I don't know. But he tripped over Tony Dorsett, and then he threw at Robert Newhouse's ankles to unload the ball.
Tony Hill, the second-year man from Stanford, sits up to the left. Out here to the right side is Drew Pearson. And the ball is carried by Tony Dorsett, coming off the right side over the 30 to the 32, and Lauren Taves and Jack Ham are there to get him. At the 32-yard line, he picks up 4 yards on that carry. And they come on now with Tom Rafferty as they shuttle their message carriers in. They bring Butch Johnson in as a wide receiver. Preston Pearson comes in on what is an obvious passing down. Pearson has been rather questionable all week. The 12-year veteran from Illinois. Former Steeler, an invaluable member. Okay, they're going into the shotgun. Be a direct snap back to Staubach, 5 yards behind the line of scrimmage. All right, there it is, and Staubach letting it fire to Johnson, takes it at the 45, down to the Pittsburgh 45, and is brought down at the 42-yard line. They brought him off the line of scrimmage on a diagonal slant in, and he beat Ron Johnson. Butch Johnson took the quick shot from Staubach, who unloaded. And he has a first down back in Pittsburgh territory.
Well, they fooled the Steelers. Almost always they'll try to get it to Preston Pearson on the third down play, but this time they held him in the backfield to block, and they shot Johnson down the middle, and he was wide open, so it was sort of a clever play by the Dallas Cowboys, because you will be looking for Preston Pearson to be a receiver on that third down.
First down 10 at the 42-yard line. Pittsburgh leading 7-0. 8:14 to play in the first quarter. At the Orange Bowl in Miami, this is Super Bowl 13. Tony Hill to the right, Drew Pearson to the left. Dorsett shifts to the top of the eye. Now they bring the left man in motion to the right, pitch the ball to Dorsett. He keeps running over the left side across the 40 and down at the 38-yard line. Broke a couple of tackles that time, and Mel Blount finally nailed him at the Pittsburgh 38-yard line. Mel Blount makes the stop, a 4-yard gain for Tony D. Second down and 6. Ball is inside the 40. Greenwood, Green, Furness, and White up front. Ham, Lambert, and Taves, the linebackers. Johnson and Blunt on the corners. Wagner and Shell are the safeties. Staubach, the quarterback. Wideouts both ways. Pearson to the right, Tony Hill to the left. Now they shift their running backs wide. Taking Pearson in short motion. Staubach's back to throw. He's hit. Breaks away. Furness is after him. Has him in the arm, and down he goes at the Pittsburgh 49-yard line. Furness with great pursuit. Then he got help from Banaszak and Taves. After Staubach had broken away from a would-be sack, they went after him and stayed after him. And they get him back at the at the Dallas 49-yard line.
Oh, it's terrific. They lose. Let's make it 9 yards on, no, 7, about 8 yards on the play. Oh, 12, wait, I forgot they gained 4 yards on the other previous play. So they lose 12 yards on the play. They're back in their own territory at the Dallas 49-yard line.
Third down now. 19 yards to go. Got a double slot, double wing look. Pittsburgh with an extra defensive back in Dungy. Here's Staubach rolling to the right. Looking. Lots of time. Now he's hit and brought down on a great play by Dwight White at the 38-yard line. White made an ankle grab of Staubach and brought him down for a loss back to the 38-yard line. Staubach had all kinds of time, could not find a receiver. The second sack in a row. We'll be back after this pause on the Steelers Football Network.
House of Sidley, the gentleman's discounter in Wilkinsburg, where you buy famous name men's clothing at warehouse prices. WXKX Pittsburgh, 96KX FM.
Danny White will punt for Dallas. Third-year man from Arizona State. T. Bell had that hand problem this week down deep for the Steelers. Danny White punting into the wind. He gets away a low trajectory, long spiraling kick, and T. Bell backs up to take it at his own 18-yard line. Bell running to the right at the 20, cuts the field over the 25, and goes to the 30-yard line. We had a 43-yard punt. The return by T. Bell and the tackle by Mike Hegman for the Dallas Cowboys.
And Dirt Winston put a crunching block on a Dallas Cowboy downfield, and guess who the Cowboy was who got crunched? None other than Thomas the Loudmouth Henderson.
Steelers football continues after this timeout.
If you feel like you've been
back by White, and a 12-yard return by T. Bell from his 18 out to the 30. And again, Mr. Thomas Henderson got up kind of wobbly, and then he made slight applause as if to say, nice block. But he was wobbly as he got to his feet because Dirt Winston just leveled him with what could almost have been a clip, but wasn't. He got just the right angle on him, and he knocked him flying. All right, the Steelers at the 30-yard line, leading 7-0, 6:09 remaining in the first period.
First down, 10 Steelers at their own 30. They move right to left. Bradshaw, the quarterback. Swan to the right, Stallworth to the left. Grossman, the tight end, in a strong right formation. And the give to Franco, slipping outside of the left over the 30 to the 35, and toppled along the 35-yard line by Aaron Kyle and Bob Bruning. He picks up 5 yards on the carry. Strictly an angle shot that time, coming off the left side. Picks up 5 yards, second and 5 to go.
And all he needed was a block from Moon Mullins on the weak side linebacker, but D.D. Lewis, and he got that block, and it was really no trouble for Moon Mullins to make that block. He made it standing up. The Cowboys did not have good pursuit on Franco on that play. He picked up 5.
Slot right with Stallworth in the slot. That puts Grossman to the near side, getting head-to-head coverage. Bradshaw back and rolling right and throwing on the move, and incomplete. Down near the Dallas 40-yard line as Cliff Harris came over and put one of his patented hits on Swan, the intended receiver. Sort of a reminder that he is still there. 5th pass tried, 3 of them completed. Brunig and D.D. Lewis out. Hegman comes in. Randy Hughes, 4-year veteran from Oklahoma, is the 5th defensive back. 3rd down and 5 for the Steelers at their own 35-yard line. They lead 7-0. Mike Webster goes over the ball. Bradshaw steps in under center. His running backs are Harris and Blyer. Bradshaw dropping back, firing a field complete to Harris at the 45. He's the 50, the Dallas 45, and goes to the Dallas 43-yard line. Franco Harris coming out of the backfield, and there's a weapon that we have not seen that much as a receiver this year. Cliff Harris and Charlie Waters made the stop. So you see a valuable weapon put to use. And we've got those weapons, and it was Franco receiving and running like a madman.
Well, I'll tell you, he beat Mike Hegman, a linebacker, across the middle, and then Randy Hughes, a safety man, tried to tackle him, and he broke the tackle before he was finally brought down by another Cowboy. They're at the Dallas 43-yard line, are the Steelers, leading 7-0.
First down and 10 yards to go at the Dallas 43. Bradshaw is back there again as they come after him. He fires to the far side to Swan at the 32, and he's brought down and out of bounds by Benny Barnes at the 30-yard line. Swan going to the sideline to take the shot from Bradshaw, and the Steelers bring it right down to the Dallas 30-yard line. Their 5th first down of the afternoon. 5 passes completed out of 7 tried, and Swanee getting his first catch in Super Bowl 13.
And they're working on left cornerback Benny Barnes. They've burned him twice now. First Randy Grossman and now Lynn Swan. First down, 30-yard line at Dallas. Steelers leading 4:28 left in the first period, leading 7-0.
First down and 10 yards to go for Chuck Noll's men in black and gold. Bradshaw dropping back, and Bradshaw firing, and it's going to be intercepted at the 15. Here comes D.D. Lewis with the ball to the 20, the 25, the 30. A stiff arm. He goes down at the 35-yard line. The tackle made by John Stallworth as Bradshaw apparently underthrew, and the ball went directly to D.D. Lewis for the turnover.
Well, he either underthrew or else D.D. Lewis read the play beautifully, but he got well in front of the intended receiver, John Stallworth, who eventually ran him down, making the tackle at the Dallas 35-yard line. So Bradshaw has thrown his first interception. He is 4 for 7 with 1 interception.
So the Dallas Cowboys take over at their own 35-yard line. First down, 10 yards to go. Steelers leading 7-0 with 4:18 to play in the first quarter of the ballgame. And we get a timeout down on the field. We remind you that Myron and I will be here until the late hours of the night on our post-game talk show. Right now, we'll be right back.
Got it.
Cowboys come out with 2 tight ends, Billy Joe Dupree and Jackie Smith. All right, they bring the wing back from the left. That was the tight end in motion to the right and give it to Newhouse to plow up the middle to the 39-yard line. He'll pick up 4, making the play. Give them 4 yards. It will be second down and a long 6.
And so far, Tom Landry's campaign to put pressure on the officials to throw flags has not panned out because we haven't had a penalty yet in the ball game, and the first period has less than 4 minutes remaining.
Drew Pearson to the left. Dorsett shifting into the backfield. Jackie Smith, wingback, close on the right side, goes in motion out to the left. Pitch the ball to Newhouse, running to the left. Lambert after him, he's got him. Lambert aided by Taves, but it was Lambert who fired through there and nailed him along the 38-yard line for a loss of a yard or so in the play. Like a bullet, the Rocket from Kent State in his 5th year. had it analyzed completely and came firing through to nail him at the 38-yard line.
And he simply outran Robert Newhouse, who is coming off a broken fibula and is sort of questionable in terms of speed. And Jack Splat simply outran the guy.
Coming off a broken what?
Fibula, it's in the leg.
Oh, I thought that was a lie. Fibula. Double wing. Only Dallas can set it up as they go into the shotgun. Direct snap to Staubach. Overthrows his target, Preston Pearson, at the 48-yard line. Jack Ham in pursuit of press. Incomplete pass. So Dallas will have to give the ball back to the Steelers.
And he was way off the mark there. That's the first time he tried to get it to Preston Pearson. Preston has been in there on 3 first downs, but this is the first time he was an intended receiver. The Steeler defense gaming Staubach that time. LC looping around and putting pressure on Staubach.
They were at the 39 the last time they punted. Now they're at the 38. Danny White out there standing at his own 22.5-yard line. T-Bell downfield for the Steelers. The punt will carry left to right. Danny White gets a wobbly, lazy one up there, angling it to the far side. Takes a Pittsburgh bounce. It hit at the 34. Bounded back and out of bounds around the 38-yard line. Good field position again for the Steelers, who take over the football, leading 7-0, 2:37 remaining to play in the first period. That was a 24-yard punt measured from the line of scrimmage. Reminder of those of you listening to this afternoon's game, be sure to stay with us after the game for Super Bowl Hotline. Once again, and for the final time in the season, we'll open the phone lines for you to call in and talk Steelers. Myron and I will be here in our booth at the Orange Bowl until long after dark. Bob Koppler will control things at the studio. Join us for the all-new Steelers Hotline right after Super Bowl 13 on WTAE.
That hotline's going to make me late for the victory party, but I don't care. I'll enjoy it just the same and make up for lost time when I get there.
It's going to make me late, too.
Well, but you know, you're not even dressed for the party. You're wearing one of those white West Virginia T-shirts. How are you going to go?
That's a Steeler T-shirt.
How are you going to go to a gala party for $700 at this fancy hotel in a Steeler T-shirt?
I have to fly half the night, half the morning, 1,300 miles to catch this aggravation from you because you're wearing that tie that you bought before Super Bowl I and that shirt which you borrowed from your neighbor to bring to Miami.
All right,
let's go back to the football. We're having fun. Fleming and Cope at the Orange Bowl. Steelers ready to go. First down 10. And a delayed handoff to Franco. Breaks it up the middle over the 40, the 45. He goes on to the 47-yard line. Franco, Harris had the opening. Charlie Waters and Aaron Kyle make the stop. He picks up around 9 yards on the quick opener.
Oh, nice hole off the left side, and if I just may differ to one small degree, he ran Charlie Waters down. Charlie never made that tackle. Charlie's shaking it off.
Charlie's trying to pick up his teeth. Second down and 1. Swanee to the right, Stallworth to the left. Flyer shifts over to the left side in the backfield. They give to Franco, plowing straight ahead, and he may or may not have it. In a pileup, Bob Bruning and Randy White there, and a penalty marker is down for the first time. Holding call against the Steelers. Well, that should make Tom Landry happy. Landry, Natalie attired today in dark slacks and a tan coat and a tie and the usual hat. They ought to make a Tom Landry doll and sell it in department stores. All right, 10 yards marked off against Pittsburgh, back to the 38.
Well, the holding is on Sam Davis. Yes, Sam Davis caught holding on the short yardage play, and that is a shame. He's up against Randy White, a tough customer.
It's going to be second down, about 10.5 yards to go, and now there is some discussion down on the field. Dallas takes advantage of the opportunity to bring Hagman back out. Steeler fans are booing. Bring a couple of linebackers, Bruning and Lewis off. Hegman in, Randy Hughes in as the fifth defensive back.
Hey, Jack, Mike Webster is still wearing the terrible towel. He's wearing it the whole ball game.
He may like the feel of it.
Yeah, well, they sure went 56 yards on the first time they got the football, did they not? 56 yards to 28-yard touchdown pass by Bradshaw. They lead 7-0 late in the first period.
Second down, 10.5. Handoff is given to Franco. Slips off the left side. He broke a tackle, comes over the 40 and goes down at the 43-yard line as Aaron Kyle makes the play on him. The third-year man from Wyoming. Franco Harris picks up around 5 yards and advancing the ball to the 42.5-yard line. Third down.
Nice block that time by Larry Brown on the linebacker Hegman, and that swung Franco around the outside, but I suppose Dallas will be assuming here that Bradshaw is going to throw on 3rd and 5.
Third down and 5 yards to go. Dallas with 5 defensive backs in the unit right now. Here's Bradshaw back, and they're coming after him. They're going to get him. Fumbles the football. And Dallas going after it, and I believe the Cowboys are recovered. Cowboys ball at the Pittsburgh 42-yard line. Ed Jones made the grab, covered the football. Too tall Jones. Harvey Martin and Jones were firing in there. Bradshaw was in trouble. You could see it coming. And on the first fumble loss of the game for the Steelers, the Cowboys get it at the 41-yard line.
Harvey Martin nailed Bradshaw from behind. I thought it might have been Randy White down on the bottom of the with the recovery, but I don't know. The Cowboys, with the turnover, start at the Steelers' 41-yard line.
1 minute to play in the first period. The shift out of the eye. Dorsett to the right, Newhouse to the left. Staubach is the quarterback. Staubach hands it off to Newhouse on a slant into the middle, stacked up at the 39-yard line. L.C. Greenwood and Steve Furness. They'll mark it at the Pittsburgh 39. Gain of about 2 yards, second down and 8. Pat Donovan, Herbert Scott, John Fitzgerald, Tom Rafferty, or Burton Lawless. Rayfield Wright in that offensive line for the Dallas Cowboys. Billy Joe Dupree, the tight end, a 6-year veteran from Michigan State, goes 6'4", 229, a mammoth specimen. Tony Hill wide to the left. Tony Dorsett is in the slot to the left, shifts back into a regular setback. They go into a wide set in the backfield, wide outs in both directions, taking Pearson in motion. Here's Staubach back to throw, and he goes for the bomb downfield, and it is incomplete. The coverage, Donnie Shell covering Drew Pearson in the end zone, and they sent Pearson all the way to the post deep, and the bomb falls incomplete.
Great pressure by Steve Furness, but not enough. Staubach had Pearson going down for the goalpost, but great coverage by Donnie Shell, who stayed with him step for step, covered him like a vest, and got up for the ball with him and knocked down and broke up the play. So the Cowboys now 3rd and 9 in another passing situation.
They take Billy Joe Dupree out and bring in Butch Johnson. So they'll have 3 wide receivers. Robert Newhouse is out, and Preston Pearson is in the backfield with Tony Dorsett. And they'll line up in the shotgun. Steve Furness is out. Dennis Winston, the 4th linebacker for the Steelers, on 3rd and 8 for Dallas. Direct snap to Staubach. He barely gets it away. It is caught at the 25. Here goes Tony Hill over the 20, the 10, the 5, into the end zone. Tony Hill broke open around the 25. He went to the sideline and danced away from Donnie Shell and galloped into the end zone for the touchdown. It came on the final play of the first quarter, and that is the first time that an opponent has scored against the Steelers, scored a touchdown in the first period. So now we'll get the try for the point after. Rayfield Septien from Southwest Louisiana State, who replaced a friend Herrera as their place kicker. We had offside against the Steelers, declined by the Cowboys. So the touchdown toss to the very fleet Tony Hill. He broke open. He was wide open to catch it around the 25, and he went to the sideline and shook off Donnie Shell and went in for the touchdown. Snap, the ball is down, and the kick is up. It is good. So that's the end of the first quarter, Super Bowl 13, with a score, Pittsburgh 7, Dallas 7.
Wagner coming from the left side, from the blind side, but Staubach got it away in the nick of time to Tony Hill, and Donnie Shell got a hand on him at the 8-yard line, but couldn't hang on. Mel Blunt, occupied with another Dallas receiver, was in position to run down Tony Hill before he scored, but Blunt had his back to Hill, was unaware that Hill had caught the football, as it appeared to us up here in the booth, and so did not make the tackle. But it was a beautiful piece of work by Staubach, who withstood the blitz and got the ball away in the nick of time. 7-7 as we enter the second period of Super Bowl 13.
Septien will kick off now for the Dallas Cowboys, right to left. Steelers have Larry Anderson deep. Septien high, wobbly, and short. Bouncing inside the 30. And it is picked off by Anderson, running to his right along the 30. Needs some help, gives ground behind the 30, running in the other direction. Now they're after him, comes forward, and he's in trouble at the 27-yard line. Rick Mosier was over in that area where that ball came down, and it appeared for a moment as though nobody would take it. And Larry Anderson got it. Guy Brown made the stop on him as he had the 30, and then in looking for better times gave ground and lost 3 yards back to the 27.
Well, after he did take the football, Anderson stepped by Loudmouth Henderson. He outran him, but then when he started running laterally, Henderson resumed the chase, and along with a whole flock of Cowboys finally pinned him at the 26 of the Steelers.
Steelers ready to go in a 7-7 ball game. Blyer in motion out of the backfield. Bradshaw is back, firing on the far side, and a diving try at the 37-yard line by Grossman. Successful. Bob Brunig made the stop with Charlie Waters, and Randy Grossman made an utterly exceptional catch.
Fantastic catch. He got behind Brunig and behind Henderson, the guy who was talking about Randy Grossman as a gent who was only playing when somebody breaks a leg or dies. But it was just a great diving catch by Grossman at the 37-yard line, first down.
Steelers in the second period move left to right. Both ball clubs have scored on the pass. Live by the pass, you die by the pass. Bradshaw, 1st and 10. The give to Franco. Stutter step, gets outside of the left. Pursued out there by Ed Jones, and finally forced out of bounds at the 44-yard line. Franco ran to daylight outside of the left, took it to the 44-yard line, and he picks up 8 yards.
The Cowboys in their flex defense, where they have 2 of their front 4 linemen playing off the line about a yard. It is a defense designed primarily to stop the run, but Franco's uncanny running defeated it on that play as he picked up 8 yards out to the 44.
Fleming and Cope reporting from the Orange Bowl of Miami, Super Bowl 13. Steelers and the Cowboys locked in a 7-7 tie early in the second period. Bradshaw hands it off to Harris, hits up the middle, had the hole, but Jones filled it at the 45-yard line. You could see the hole open. Suddenly, there was too tall Jones, stopping him at the 45-yard line, about 1.5 yards short of a first down.
6'9", 270 pounds. Too Tall Jones is not noted as a really active defensive end. He is tough, though, to get out of the way.
Swan and Stallworth come out. Steve Corson and Larry Brown come in. Steelers go into their 2 tight end short yardage formation. Grossman, the wing back to the right. Blyer, the wing back to the left. A double wing situation. Both ends tight. Give to Franco coming off the left side. Fights his way up to the 47.5-yard line for a first down. Franco Harris picks it up. D.D. Lewis makes the stop. First down, Pittsburgh. Number 7 for the Steelers in a tie ball game.
Some of the scouts down here, some of the pro people have noted how the Steelers do like to run to their left, behind the blocking, of course, of Sam Davis and John Colbin. That's what the Steelers did to make that first down.
First down and 10 yards to go. Bradshaw would like to pass. He flips it down the middle. And a lot of people there. Grossman to one side, Blyer to the other, and a lot of Cowboys, mainly Charlie Waters and Bob Brunig. And it went incomplete, zipping in between all of them. Terry's 10th pass. He's completed 6, had 1 intercepted, and he's thrown for 1 touchdown, as has Roger Staubach.
Looked like he was trying to force that ball in there that time. That could have been trouble.
Steelers at their own 47.5-yard line, 2nd down 10. Jerry Mullins back in there at right guard. 6'3", 244 pounds, 8-year veteran from Southern Cal. Slot man to the left side for the Steelers. Bradshaw with a play fake. Now rolling right. Gets a good block for protection, and now fires downfield, and it is broken up. He went for Swan on a comebacker at the 30, and Charlie Waters made a great play. Mullins shaken up a little bit. Mullins had thrown a protective block for Terry Bradshaw. Larry Cole and Thomas Henderson were firing in. So the pass is incomplete. It is 3rd and 10.
Yes, that block by Mullins was on tackle Larry Cole, who had run right by Franco. Franco hadn't delivered any block at all. And fortunately, Mullins tracked down Larry Cole before he got to Bradshaw, and in the nick of time, dumped him.
12:20 to play in the first half. The sun has broken through from the west. Tom Bender said that it was shining brightly over on the coast today when he left. All right, the Steelers with Bradshaw fumbling the football, picking it up on the move, and he is nailed back behind the fort. This ball is taken away from him. Strip. Henderson with the ball goes down and into the end zone for a touchdown. Make it in the end zone, a Dallas touchdown. The ball was stripped away from Bradshaw. And suddenly, Mike Hegman, that's who we were looking for. Hegman running with the fumble and carrying it into the end zone for a Cowboy TD.
Well, Bradshaw simply got sandwiched ferociously, and one half of the sandwich just took the football off him. Let's pause now for station identification.
House of Sidley, the gentleman's discounter in Wilkinsburg, where you buy famous men's clothing at warehouse prices. WXKX Pittsburgh, 96KX FM.
Septien trying with a point after. Dramatic turn taken on that fumble by Bradshaw. Kick is up there. It is good. Dallas moves out to a 14-7 lead. Means the Cowboys have scored twice within 3 minutes. We'll be right back.
You find innovation at the Imagination Station.
Your Chrysler Plymouth dealer is the Imagination Station, where you'll find innovative and imaginative new cars from 1979, like Plymouth Horizon. Horizon is the first American car its size with front-wheel drive. That means Horizon will give you solid handling and stability on all kinds of roads in all kinds of weather. But Horizon not only gets you there, it gets you there economically. EPA estimates rate Horizon with manual transmission at a remarkable 38 miles per gallon highway, 25 city. Of course, your actual mileage may differ. If you want to go in comfort and confidence, put Plymouth Imagination to work for you with a 1979 Plymouth Horizon.
Origination, innovation, recreation.
At the Imagination Station.
That's imagination.
See your Steelerland Chrysler Plymouth dealer.
Well, Bradshaw was hit 10 yards behind the line of scrimmage back at his 37 by Thomas Henderson, and Mike Hegman simply stole the ball off him as he was stood up between the two of them and rambled 37 yards for a Dallas touchdown. So with 12:08 remaining in the second period, Dallas leads 14-7.
Here's the kickoff down to Larry Anderson in the end zone, and he'll kneel with it. Take the automatic touchback. Septien kicking off into the end zone to Larry Anderson. And the Steelers have the ball back, ready to move on offense. Bradshaw has had 2 fumbles and 1 interception.
And he, at times, has not thrown the football well. He started off pretty well, directing that 56-yard touchdown drive, but he's since been ragged.
Steelers are at the 20-yard line. First down 10 following the touchback. Handoff goes to Harris. Off the left side for a couple of yards. Harvey Martin tipped Franco over, and he fell over John Cole, but was blocking. And he goes down at the 22-yard line. 21 and a half, about a yard and a half gain.
And the word from the bench was that Bradshaw, who of course is right back into the football game, was merely shaken up on that hit.
Stallworth to the left, Swan to the right. Kolb, Davis, Webster, Mullins, and Penny, the interior linemen. 14-7 in favor of the Cowboys. Checks off, gives the ball to Franco, and Franco coming up the middle comes to the 25-yard line. Bob Bruning and Charlie Waters are there to make the tackle from their defensive positions for the Dallas Cowboys. Here comes the switch now in their defense. Larry Cole in on that tackle along with Waters. D.D. Lewis and Bob Bruning out. Hagman is in. Randy Hughes becomes the extra defensive back. Dave Stalls is in the forward wall. Second-year man from Northern Colorado. Third down and 5. Slot right formation. Bradshaw is back there, and he fires. Caught by Stallworth at the 35, breaks a tackle, comes over the 40, the 45, the 50. He's breaking downfield, going to the Dallas 30, the 20, the 10, the 5. A touchdown for Pittsburgh. "75 yards, but a penalty marker? Nope. It stands. 75-yard strike to Johnny Stallworth.
And Stallworth broke a tackle on the cornerback. Aaron Cow headed upfield. Randy Hughes closed on him. Randy Hughes, a safety man, but he made a nifty move outside Hughes. Left Hughes flat on his face and traveled 75 yards, and the Steelers are now trailing by 1 point as they go to the extra point. It's 14-13.
What a ball game this one's turning out to be, huh?
That ties a Super Bowl record, a 75-yard touchdown pass, a record held by John Mackey, 1971.
Greg Kolk with the rookie holding. Jarella goes for the point after. It is up there. It is good. The ball game is tied 14-14. Steelers football continues after this timeout.
I'm an investment counselor, and one of the best things I can do for my clients is help them make better use of their money. That's why I think Pittsburgh National's new check and save service may be better than the other automatic transfer.
It had been 3rd and 5. They knew Bradshaw had to throw the football, but they couldn't stop him. He's looked ragged at times, but that time he hit John Stallworth for a touchdown pass for the second time in this ball game. Earlier, he threw 28 yards to Stallworth, who made a great catch between two defenders to put Pittsburgh out in front. Now he hits Stallworth, and you cannot tackle Stallworth lightly. You cannot tackle him sloppy, or he's going to be gone. And Aaron Cow did not put the kind of hit on him that was required to bring him down. Consequently, he was off and running, was Stallworth. The pass was not a real deep pass. It was a pass easily good for the first down, but once he got going, why then he is even tougher to bring down, as Randy Hughes found as he flew at Stallworth, only to find Stallworth disappear into thin air and travel the rest of the way. I would say that he eluded Hughes at about the 30-yard line.
Jarella ready to kick off. Brinson and Johnson deep for Dallas. High, down to the 10. Butch Johnson out over the 15, the 20, the 25, the 30, and he's plowed down at the 31-yard line. Rick Mosier there to get him. Staubach coming on. They've been warming up. Danny White. First down 10, and the Steeler fans are chanting defense. First down 10 at the 31, and what's the word, Byron?
Well, Bradshaw has a bruised left shoulder, I guess from that hit when he lost the football a few minutes ago. But as you saw, he's playing.
Dorsett shifts left and back into the regular position. Staubach hands it off to Newhouse, and he is nailed. Coming to his left, John Banaszak. Gets him back at the 27-yard line. Robert Newhouse brought down in his very tracks. A loss of 4 yards on a fine defensive move by Banaszak, the 6'3", 244-pounder from Eastern Michigan.
It's a sweet play to have on first down. It gives your defense momentum there. You know, after you've hit Stallworth with the big touchdown play, then Banaszak comes through with that first down play. You get a little momentum going, maybe.
They line up in a full house eye. Shift out of it. Now they send a man in motion out to the right, giving them an eye look, pitching the ball to Dorsett. Dorsett is trapped and nailed at the 24-yard line. He tried to turn and reverse his field. There was nowhere to go. Jack Ham reacted to come over and help out as Joe Green had the fleet Tony Dorsett trapped, and Ham came over to put the clincher on him at the 24-yard line. Preston Pearson comes into the backfield.
All the avenues were sealed off. Steve Furness had another avenue sealed off. That's that momentum, perhaps, that I was talking about that Banaszak provided on the first down play. But Dorsett had nowhere to go.
Tony Dungy replaces Lauren Taves to become an extra defensive back for the Steelers. Shotgun, direct snap to Staubach. He's winding up. They got him. There's a fumble. The ball is loose. It's still loose. And the Cowboys managed to recover at their own 12.5-yard line. Wow, it was out there loose in the open. Tom Rafferty of Penn State recovered it. Steve Furness had the opportunity, could not corral the football. So the Cowboys have been pushed all the way back to their 12.5-yard line, and they will be forced to punt.
He had good protection that gave him a good bit of time, but Joe Green finally broke through to nail Staubach and caused the fumble. Doggone it, Steve did have his mitts on that football, but he couldn't quite handle it, but that's all right. White will have to punt from his end zone.
White standing about 3 yards deep in the end zone. The punt will carry right to left. The snap, and Danny White punts it well. Up to the 49-yard line of Steeler territory. T-Bell slides over the 50, goes down at the Dallas 48-yard line. 2 men there to cover him, Guy Brown along with D.D. Lewis. But the Steelers have excellent field position. 1st and 10, Steelers football continues after this timeout.
The Steelers have what it takes to be a winner, and so does B&R Speed Supply, with the area's largest inventory of specialty auto, truck, and van accessories. B&R Speed Supply blows out the competition. For the 4-wheel drive or off-road enthusiast, B&R has famous Hickey suspension kits and components.
Well, this Super Bowl 13 is the first Super Bowl in history in which 4 touchdowns have been scored in the first half. The Steelers and Cowboys deadlocked 14-14 as the Steelers now, following the Dallas punt, will put the ball in play at the 48-yard line of the Cowboys. It's been a seesaw ball game up and down the field. Both teams in with 2 fumbles, but the Cowboys in with just 1 turnover, lost one of those fumbles. The Steelers have had several turnovers. Bradshaw twice turning the ball over on fumbles and once on an interception, but with his big touchdown pass to Stallworth of 75 yards, he may have given himself some confidence. The terrible towels are flying across the way. Something has incited them. I guess the fact that the Steelers are now going into play with that football at the Dallas 48.
1st down and 10 yards to go, just inside Dallas territory. Bradshaw is back and out to the left and looking, and he drills it down to the 40-yard line. Take him a swan to 35, the 30, the 25, and on down to the 22-yard line. Swan curled back to take it. Bradshaw drilled it on the money. Charlie Waters and Cliff Harris made the tackle. 1st down, Pittsburgh at the Dallas 22-yard line.
A gain of 26 yards on the play as Bradshaw on the 1st down hit Swan, who hooked inside left cornerback Benny Barnes, who has been burned 3 times today, and advanced the ball to the 22 of Dallas.
1st down 10. 14-14 ball game. 7 minutes even to play in the first half at the Orange Bowl in Miami. Here is Bradshaw handing it off to Franco. Block from Moon Mullins doesn't help, because riding in right over the block was Ed Too Tall Jones. Mullins was working to clear 1 man out, and Too Tall came riding right over the wave and nailed Franco around the 30-yard line. So it winds up as a loss of 8 yards on the carry. And the Dallas defense reacts violently to come back and throw the Steelers for a loss. Mike Hegman comes in. Bob Bruning and D.D. Lewis go out. Dave Stalls comes into the front four, replacing Larry Cole. Randy Hughes, the 5th defensive back. Regular Dallas formation on what is expected to be a passing down. Bradshaw from the Dallas 30-yard line backs up. Now he unloads it downfield, going for Grossman. We get flags down. Charlie Waters covering on the play. We have a holding call spotted by the officials. Against the Cowboys.
Oh, yeah, Charlie Waters was holding Randy Grossman, breaking down the middle, and it was obvious to the official who flagged him down immediately. So there's a break for the Steelers, or a break courtesy of Charlie Waters. One of the better safeties in football, let's give him this. But he's having a few trying moments today, is Charlie Waters.
That's Thomas Henderson.
Henderson, yes, indeed. All right.
You're picking on Charlie.
The loudmouth wasn't able to cover Randy Grossman, the guy who can only play when somebody dies or breaks a leg. So said Henderson. Huh?
Automatic first down. 1st and 10 at the 25-yard line. Terry back deep. Terry down the middle again. Off the fingertips. Down at the 12-yard line. And we saw Lynn Swan reaching for it. Or rather, Johnny Stallworth reaching for it, and it came off his fingertips as Aaron Kyle came over to cover Stall. That is the 14th pass tried, 8 of them completed. And now again they make that defensive switch. Stalls comes out on the field. Hegman is out there, and Hughes. Cole, Bruning, and Lewis come to the sideline. 2nd down, 10. 2nd and long yardage. Stallworth to the left, Swan in the slot left. That's the short side of the field. Strong right formation. Grossman, the tight end. Blyer in motion to the right, and the handoff to Franco, and trouble running up the middle. Makes it to the 23-yard line. Mike Hegman brings him down. After an early start, Dorsett has been quiet in the ball game, and Franco has had his greatest moment of the afternoon on a pass reception.
Franco in with 29 yards on 11 carries. Rocky Blyer has carried only once for 2 yards. That time, as Jack told you, they sent Rocky in motion to the right and gave it to Franco on a delay up the middle, hoping to sucker the Dallas defense, but it didn't work, so it's 3rd and 8 at the 18.
Dorsett has 42 yards on 6 carries, most of that early on the first 2. Here's Bradshaw in trouble, and they're after him, and down he goes. Back at the 34-yard line, Henderson and White got in there. Almost got away, but didn't quite make it. That is the first sack. I talked about on the air this past week, I'd had this dream that Jarrella would kick a super field goal in this game. I don't know whether that can happen at this distance or not, but they're going to try one from the 41-yard line. It will be a 51-yard attempt. Colquitt is the holder. The snap, it is down, and Jarrella hits the crossbar. Almost had it from 51 yards out. Came down and hit the crossbar. Very close indeed. Ed Jones shaken up on the play. Lambert having a few words with D.D. Lewis. Timeout down in the field. We'll be right back.
Well, I'm leaving now. Don't need no
51-yard field goal attempt. Actually hit the left upright about 3 feet. Had enough on it to get it over the crossbar, but it was just an inch too far to the left and hit the upright. A big try by Jarrella, which indicates Noel has a lot of confidence in Jarrella, and more perhaps specifically in his defense, because they've given up good field position to the Cowboys by attempting that field goal. The Cowboys at their own 33.5-yard line, 14-14. in the closing 5 minutes of the second period.
First down, 10 to go for the Cowpokes at their own 34. They shift. They have Dorsett and Newhouse in the backfield. Now they send the tight end Jackie Smith in motion out to the right. Hand it off to Dorsett, running to the left. And Dorsett cuts upfield over the 35 and is brought down at the 39-yard line. Mel Blunt and Donnie Shell made the stop on Tony Dorsett. He came to the left and made his cut. He picks up about 5 yards. Second down and 5 to go.
Mel Blunt did a good job of turning in the play, fighting off a block by the pulling guard, Herb Scott, but Blunt had no help over there. The Steelers were slow to pursue, and of course, when Dorsett's carrying that ball, you got to have a lot of football players around him.
Caves out, Robin Cole in at right side linebacker for the Steelers. Dorset out, and Preston Pearson is as a running back. They shift out of the I. Newhouse and Pearson are the running backs. Wingback set close on the left side, and they hand it off to Newhouse, and he's looking for a block, and he can't find it, and he's driven out of bounds along the 39-yard line by Robin Cole and Donnie Shell. Robert Newhouse, the ball carrier, played perfectly by Robin Cole and Donnie Shell and driven out at the 39-yard line. Actually, the 38.5. Slight loss on the play. Third down and a long 5 to go.
Donnie Shell just would not give ground to the blocker who was trying to move him out of there. So he and Cole, a terrific play stopping Newhouse, and as has been said, Donnie Shell, who plays safety, he's like having another linebacker in there. He's so strong.
Robin Cole out and Tony Dungy in as a fifth defensive back with 3:25 on the turning clock. The Cowboys on third and a long 5. Go into the shotgun. Snap to Staubach. He almost lost it. Recovers, fires a diving catch by Preston Pearson going to the far side of the field along the 45. And Pearson is covered by Jack Ham. They have a first down at their own 45-yard line. So Pearson came down and over sharply and caught that ball. That is the 5th first down for the Cowboys. Pearson has not always been a happy man at Dallas since the arrival of Dorsett. Expressed a great deal of dissatisfaction this year with his playing time, but he keeps coming back like a song. And what a ball player he is, what an athlete, and what a gentleman.
He told me down here this week, third down is what they now pay me for.
Lives in Pittsburgh. Dorsett is a native of the Pittsburgh area from Hopewell. They've got a strong tri-state flavor. Here's Staubach back and then firing complete to the Pittsburgh 45-yard line. Staubach wound up and uncorked one to Tony Hill, and he was brought down by Jack Ham and Mike Wagner. So Tony Hill, the man who caught their touchdown pass, he's the receiver, and the Cowboys have their 6th first down, and the clock is turning down to the 2-minute warning. The score is tied at 14-14. 2 minutes to play in the first half. Timeout down on the field.
And a reminder for those of you listening to WTAE in Pittsburgh, be sure to stay with us after the game for Steelers Hotline. Tonight after the game, we'll open the phone lines for you to call in and talk about the Super Bowl. Jack Fleming and I will be in the Orange Bowl taking your calls right here in the booth with Bob Koppler back at the studios. So join us for our all-new Steelers Hotline right after this game. Well, Roger Staubach has thrown the ball only 7 times thus far in the ball game, which has 2 minutes remaining in the first half. He's completed 4 out of 7, but more importantly, right now he appears to be getting a hot hand. He appears to be more composed, a little more sure of himself, as he certainly appeared when he drilled that last ball to his receiver. So the Cowboys are first down at the Steelers' 44-yard line. Again, no other Super Bowl has had 4 touchdowns scored in the first half, but the Steelers are staging a wild and woolly one. They're deadlocked 14-14.
Two minutes even to play in the first half. Sun dropping off now into the west. And we'll soon be into the twilight period here in South Florida. Beautiful view from our perch up here in the Orange Bowl. Skyline off to our right. The planes approaching the greater Miami International Airport. Just a very beautiful tropical type scene.
You know, thus far, well, they're ready to go down there, so I will not dilly-dally.
All right, we have to dig in on defense. Dwight White is back in at right end. Greenwood, Green, Furness, and White in the front four. Staubach is under center. Fakes a draw with a blitz on. He unloads it out to the left to Tony Dorsett at the 45, the 40. Coming down the sideline, still on his feet. He stepped out of bounds at the 32-yard line. Flags are flying as the play is continuing after the whistle.
There's a fight down there, Jack. Dorsett got into it with a flock of Steelers. He didn't like the way he was brought down.
Dorsett was the ball carrier. Rookie Ron Johnson was involved in the melee. And the flag went down. Now we have a consultation. So Staubach that time under a fierce rush unloaded it to Dorsett. Unsportsmanlike conduct call coming.
He's got the numbers reversed. He said 33 on Pittsburgh. He meant Dallas, and I believe he said 29 Ron Johnson. So it was Johnson and Dorsett both ways, Jack.
Well, what do you think about that? Tempers flaring. There's no mark-off. That came after the play had been whistled dead. And Dorsett had the first down out of bounds at the 32-yard line. That is their 7th first down, their 5th pass completed, and the first to Tony D. 1:51 to play in the first half. 14-14. Super Bowl 13, and Dallas at the Steeler 32-yard line. Set up a man in the slot left, bring Dorsett back to the top of the eye, and send Drew Pearson in motion wide to the right. Staubach is back deep, and he winds up and throws. Intercepted by Blunt at the 20. He's up over the 25. He comes to the 30, and he is hit and brought down by Billy Joe Dupree and Drew Pearson. Mel Blunt, after Dwight White had put a great rush on Staubach, Blunt came up with the interception. Dupree came down, and a personal foul has been called on the hit on Blunt. Markov against squeaky clean Tom Landry's forces.
White sawed the quarterback in half as he let that football go and perhaps caused the underthrow, although Drew Pearson was pretty well covered, but Blunt was able to circle in under the play and pick it off, and the penalty moves the ball clear out to the 44-yard line, and a kid runs out on the field, steals the football from the line of scrimmage. It was unguarded, sets it back at the Pittsburgh 30-yard line for a 15-yard penalty against the Steelers, but the official chasing the guy, the kid in a yellow shirt. What's he wearing? A yellow shirt. He might be a Steeler rooter, but he obviously isn't. Now the officials bring the ball back out to the 44.
I don't know who he is, but he's getting an escort out of the stadium. He had to be one of the Cowboys. The Cowboy people are supporting him, and the Steeler people are supporting him. Nobody knows who he belongs to. But obviously it was a Cowboy move because he took the ball and put it back to the 30. It is first down 10 at the 44. Quick pitch to Franco. He breaks the tackle at the 40. And down he goes, flags. Randy White snowed him under. So the penalty marker is down. Here's the preliminary signal. Holding call against the Steelers. We'll be back after this pause on the Steelers Football Network.
House of Sidley, the gentleman's discounter in Wilkinsburg, where you buy famous name men's clothing at warehouse prices. WXKX Pittsburgh, 96KX FM.
10-yard mark-off against the Steelers now, and here is the official call.
Holding on Moon Mullins, that's the call. Moon caught holding, so the ball is back now at the Steeler 34. First and 20.
Lynn Swan to the right, Johnny Stallworth to the left. Blyer in a close slot position on the right side. A quick flip out to Swan. They form a screen. He's up over the 35, the 40, leaps over the 45, breaks a tackle over the 50. The 45 still running to the Dallas 40, and down at the Dallas 37.5-yard line. Henderson and Barnes finally brought him down. Super great running as Charlie Waters kneels down there and says, "What went by me, man?" It looked like a big cow from Texas going by.
And Aaron Cow again misses a tackle. He broke Aaron Cow's tackle. He left a number of Cowboys in his wake, including Cliff Harris, who had promised him a knockout reception today. Says he runs my way, he's going to get knocked out. But Harris was left standing there watching the play proceed past him. So the Steelers now at the Cowboys' 38-yard line.
I'll swear, Myron, he went 29 yards.
Now you're going to get these Texas folks mad. They're sitting right in front and turning around and getting mad.
It's all in fun. It is a great day at the Orange Bowl. Hey!
Listen, he's the big one here, so fight him.
At the 37.5-yard line, first down 10. 14-14, so everybody's had a chance to cheer.
Jack, that play would have been good for 28 yards, 29 yards, make it. Lynn Swan catching the Bradshaw pass and just dazzling them with footwork.
Steelers have a pair of timeouts left. Minute 13 on the clock. So they may yet be able to add points on the board to retake the lead. They led 7-0. They were tied at 7-7, went behind 14-7, and came back and struck quickly to tie the ball game at 14-14. And the first half of this one has supplied lots and lots of thrills for this crowd. Packed into the Orange Bowl on a beautiful Florida January afternoon. Steelers ready to go. Bradshaw backs up. And he fires again, and there's the leaping catch down at the 16-yard line by Lynn Swan, who is hit by Benny Barnes and brought down at the Dallas 16. First down, Pittsburgh, number 13. 16th pass, 10th cut. And Swan has caught 3 in a row for the Steelers. 29 yards and now 21 yards. Clock turns down to 48. Slot right formation. Stallworth in the slot. Bradshaw back, throwing quickly, drilling the ball to Franco, and he can't hold it. Incomplete. Cliff Harris making the defensive play.
Second and 10 on the 16.
Just as well that it wasn't ruled a catch and a loss of the ball.
Well, Franco Darnier made a nifty shoestring catch and actually had that ball, but lost it as he got rolling with it. And by the way, on the previous play, when Swan caught that pass at the 6 and went to the 16, he again burned Benny Barnes, who 4 times today, 3 times by Swan and once by Randy Grossman, has gotten the sizzle.
Second down now, 10 yards to go at the 16-yard line with 40 seconds remaining to play in the second period. Final game of the 1978 season, the Super Bowl. Number 13. Dallas doing a lot of stunning on defense. The handoff to Harris galloping over the left side of the line down to the 10. They spin his pins out from under him at the 7.5-yard line. Ed Jones gets the tackle and timeout is called. Boy, they opened up a hole that time, and Franco bolted through it straight ahead at the Cowboys and almost had it all the way. They will mark it now at the 7-yard line, and it could require, does not require a measurement. It is going to be third down and short yardage at the 7.
I'll tell you, he burst over that left side and then sort of pirouetted over, I believe it was Kyle, the right cornerback. J.D. says yes, but he went up in the air over Kyle and then was brought down, and when he had cleared Kyle, he appeared to have enough steam up to make it all the way. But at any rate, they placed the ball at the 7-yard line where Franco was brought down. So it's third down and 1 yard to go, just outside the Dallas 7-yard line. 33 seconds remaining in the first half. The Steelers and Cowboys deadlocked 14-14.
Terry Bradshaw over to have a conference with Charlie Knoll and his staff on the sidelines before they resume play.
Have the Steelers now used up all their timeouts? They have one remaining. All right, that's peachy. Plenty of time to pull this off. But doggone it, Franco looked like he had the big six there, did he not?
Third down, and we'll call it a yard to go for the first down. At the Dallas 7-yard line, 33 seconds remaining on the clock and one timeout remaining for the Steelers. Super Bowl 13, and Pittsburgh trots out of the huddle and up to the line of scrimmage. A strong left formation. Grossman the tight end. Swan splits right, and Stallworth is flanked outside of Swan. Stallworth goes in short motion. Bradshaw rolling to the right. They're after him. He throws on the move into the end zone. It is caught for a touchdown. He spotted his man and threw the ball into the end zone to Rocky Bleier, the man they just announced because of the award he got as one of the 10 outstanding young men in the nation. The announcement had just come over the PA, and it might have been an omen. D.D. Lewis and Cliff Harris were beaten on the play, and Bradshaw, rolling right, under pressure, threw it to Bleier, and the Rock went up and scragged it for the TD.
Great leaping fingertip catch by Rocky Bleier, who has never been known as a Lynn Swan, but he went up with the linebacker, D.D. Lewis. Yeah, you betcha. Out jumped him, pulled that ball down, and so the Steelers are back out in front. Yeah.
Jarella to try for the point after. Craig Kolk with the holder at the 10. The ball is down. Jarella kicks it. It is good. 21-14 as the Steelers go 56 yards in 5 plays. A pair of passes to Swan, 29 and 21 yards. A fine run by Franco to the 7, and the touchdown pass to Rocky Bleier covering 7 yards. And with 26 seconds remaining to play in the first half, it is 21-14.
I'll tell you, I'm out of breath because this is some kind of a Super Bowl. And Bradshaw on 3rd down and 1 crossed him up, although they, of course, have to take into consideration that he may throw the ball, but he's a great scrambler, so he gave him the double threat to roll out to his right, the option to run for the first down or throw the football. I do believe he first looked to see, when he couldn't find anybody open, what the chances were of making the sticks. But then he spotted the Rock, and he says, here, play Lynn Swan, Rocky Bleier, and put that ball up in the air, and the Rock went up there like some Russian high jumper. Yoy! Throw that terrible towel out there. Coach Mike Webster has worn a terrible towel throughout the first half. All right.
How you doing with the towel?
The towel is doing a job. I'll tell you, 21 points in the first half. 21-14. Steelers leading.
Here's the kickoff. Jarella, left to right. High and fairly long, down to the 9. Larry Brinson out over the 15, the 20, the 25. It got up to the 30, fights his way across the 30 and onto the 34-yard line. Brinson brought down, and again Rick Mosier was there, and again Dennis Winston was there to stop him. And the Cowboys have it back at their own 34-yard line with 19 seconds to play in the first half of the ball game. When you go back and look at Super Bowls over the years, they won't find a better first half than this one.
Well, the towel delivers miraculous plays. Would you have expected Rocky Bleier to turn into Nijinsky?
Who's Nijinsky?
Oh, then Nijinsky was a great ballet dancer.
I thought he was a defensive tackle at Notre Dame in the 20s. We're using 3-down linemen go into a 33 situation. Flag on the play as Staubach rolls right. Running, hit from behind, and nailed at the 35-yard line. L.C. Greenwood and John Banaszak closed in on Roger. Penalty marker was down behind him at the near side of the field. Illegal procedure against the Cowboys. So the option is with the Steelers. There's no gain on the play. Dallas has time for 1 or 2 more plays, so the Steelers can decline if they want. It's declined by the Steelers. And the play stands 2nd down and 10. No gain, no loss.
Well, let's get these last 11 seconds off the board, huh? Because we are emotionally spent here.
That's right.
I'll tell you, I got nothing left in me. I need halftime.
You're going to be terrible at that party tonight. Three down linemen for the Steelers. Taves pull up on the right side. Lambert ranges in the middle, Ham to the left. He hands it off, and here comes Preston Pearson. And he's tripped up at the 40-yard line, goes down at the 41. Jack Ham made the play on press. Picked up 6 yards. The Cowboys call timeout. Stop the clock with 2 seconds. The veteran Preston Pearson. His 12th year in the NFL. That means he's about 33 years old.
Yeah, well, Press, was burned up because they didn't play him in a regular season game, and he said, listen, getting that first down on third down, which I'm now paid to do, is difficult. That's tough. You got to be polished and ready for the playoffs. So that's what he was angry about. He says, if they just want me as a third down specialist, and that is unique, he said, that's okay with me, but give me a chance to stay in tune, to get that game action, because getting on 3rd and 12, getting the first down is not an easy job, he pointed out, nor is it. And I don't know of another back in the league, another running back in the league who plays only on third downs. Do you?
Not offhand. Cowboys are coming out of the huddle. Go into the shotgun. Staubach muffed it, picked it up. He's back there. Look out, he's got running room now. Now he drills one downfield, and Pearson can't get it. At the Steeler 38-yard line, it was off the fingertips of Preston Pearson. He was the target. Time runs out in the first half of Super Bowl 13. The end of the first half at the Orange Bowl in Miami. Super Bowl 13 with a score, Pittsburgh 21, the Dallas Cowboys 14. Myron Cope will comment on the first half in a moment. Football is ready to resume at the Orange Bowl. Septien kicking off left to right. Into the wind, Larry Anderson comes up to the 15 to take it over the 20, the 25, the 30. Spins away at the 35. On his feet, goes down at the 39-yard line. Larry Anderson showing great durability. Finally stopped by Guy Brown as he was hit and hit again and wound up at the 39-yard line.
And Sticks Anderson, skinny guy that he is, breaking a tackle by, I believe, Larry Bethay, who goes 256 pounds. So Anderson from the 15 out to the 39.
See, Cope, there's a balloon out there, I told you. 5 yards beyond the line of scrimmage. Steelers ready to go at their own 39, first down 10, and Bradshaw hands it off to Franco. He breaks a tackle behind the line of scrimmage and then is nailed. Bob Bruni got him after he broken away from Thomas Henderson, firing through there. And the loss is back to the 35-yard line. So a loss of 4 yards on the play, an attempted sweep to the right side, going toward the far side of the field. Steelers start the third period, moving right to left as we view the ball game for you here at the Orange Bowl. Final game of the season, no question about it. There are no more. Hegman is in. Brunig and D.D. Lewis are out. Randy Hughes, the 5th defensive back, stalls in place of Cole in the front four for Dallas. Bradshaw chased out of the pocket. On the move, sidearms it too high for Blyer at the 37-yard line. Sidearmed it toward Rocky Blyer, and it was too high. The pass is incomplete.
And it would have been a mere short gain of perhaps 5 yards and would have still left Bradshaw with about 3rd and 9. So again, he is in a passing circumstance, and that time the Cowboys were geared to the pass, no question. Rocky went up and almost made another leaping fingertip catch, however.
Stallworth just left the field limping. T. Bell is on to replace him. Bell plays with the bad hand. Had the webbing torn by a Bradshaw pass during practice this week. So Stallworth apparently twisted something. We'll be getting quick attention over there from the training corps. Slot right formation. Bradshaw's back there coming after him again, and they chase him. And he throws on the move, and coming back to take it at the sideline near the 43-yard line was T. Bell. On a comebacker way back, chased down by Cliff Harris. And they are far from the first down, and will punt for the first time this afternoon, or this evening, or tonight. Greg Colquitt is in there for the first time to punt.
And he has plenty of room to kick away. He will, however, have a nice breeze at his back. Scrimmage at the 43-yard line. He'll have a bit of a breeze, I do believe, at his back.
10 men up front for the rush. Tony Hill deep. They rush 7 out of the 10, and Colquitt gets it away. And a fair catch call for down at the 15-yard line as Tony Hill pulls in a fine punt by Craig Colquitt. 42 yards.
And not only that, but high. So with the ball at the Dallas 15 and the Steelers leading 21-14, we'll be right back. That was Craig Colquitt's first punt in this game. He did not have to punt in the first half at all. He got off a beautiful high 43-yard punt. And Tom Bender, our old pal and colleague who's watching the game from our booth here, got off a good one just now. He said that halftime was so long, Roselle's halftime show, that you could have sprained your ankle in the first half, got it healed, and come back ready to play the second half. It's almost true, I'll tell you.
One of the Zebras just obliterated that balloon out there by stepping on it.
Just like a little kid.
First down, 10, Dallas. Cowboys at their own 15. They shift Dorsett to the left in the slot, bring him back. Here's Staubach handing it off, and it is Robert Newhouse nailed. Wowee, was he nailed. Running to the left side. Stop for a loss, Dwight White. With the initial contact, and Jack Lambert in there with him. And a loss of 2 yards.
You know, the Cowboys do all that shifting around and men in motion stuff in the backfield. One advantage the Steelers have over other teams playing against that is that they don't have to flip-flop their linebackers from strong side to weak side. Their guys are good on both sides, so they're able to sit there and look at all of that and get themselves ready for what develops.
Greenwood, Green, Furness, and White up front. Ham, Lambert, and Cole are the linebackers. Here's Staubach rolling to the right, then throwing back to the left. And it is almost picked off. Now we're getting a penalty marker and a holding call. Flag is dropped at the 23-yard line. Defensive holding against the Steelers.
Tony Dorsett was the intended receiver. Jack Lambert hit him high as the ball went over Tony, incomplete, and flattened him. But in any event, we're going to get a penalty against the Steelers.
5 yards up to the 18-yard line, and that will be the 8th first down for Dallas.
Number 31, holding, defense, first down.
Donnie Schill detected holding, so it's a first down, an automatic first down at the 18-yard line of the Cowboys.
Johnny Stallworth appears to be shaking it off over there, okay, Myron, so
good.
We can look for him to come back. A little mix-up there by Dorsett as he's trying to get himself located in the backfield, and he's at the top of a full house eye, and then they bring Pearson in motion to the right. That's Drew Pearson. And the handoff to Newhouse, and he wades through people up over the 20 and out to the 23-yard line. He'll pick up about 5 yards on the play. He was met and stopped by L.C. Greenwood and Jack Lambert. Ham over on the play. And the ball spotted at the 23. Now they come on with Scott Laidlaw. And that brings a cheer from the Dallas people.
Well, Newhouse has not been productive. As I said, he carried the ball about half a dozen times or so in the first half and ended up with 0 yardage. I was really dumbfounded that they went to him so much and dropped Dorsett, who had been running so well.
Okay, 3 men in the backfield behind Staubach, and they shift into a full house eye, and then they take the man off the top of the eye. That's Drew Pearson, a wide motion to the left. I think they took too much time. They did.
Well,
they're running around like rabbits.
They're trying to stage a 3-act ballet. But unfortunately, you can't stage a 3-act ballet in 30 seconds, right?
Right.
They are enamored of their own machinations.
Get caught with your tutu on fire. It is 2nd down and 10. I think we better get serious here. These guys are just likely to explode at any time. All right. They have 2 tight ends. Now they're shifting again. They move one into a slot on the right side, and they take him. That's Drew Pearson in motion out to the left. Here's Staubach, play action fake. He's back deep. He's got time again now running to his right. Here he comes, the 10, the 15, the 20, the 25, and Green nails him as he dives in at the 29-yard line. Joe Green. Staubach is an ace at taking that safe dive when he runs. He does it beautifully.
Well, what gave him the chance, Jack, is L.C. Greenwood tried to penetrate inside up the middle and stumbled and fell, and that gave Staubach the outside. Greenwood was able to get up and chase him, but he was gone by then, and he had that sideline, and he appears to be very close to the first down, if not successful in making it.
At the 29-yard line, it is a first down for Dallas as Joe Green stopped the play. And the Cowboys, here in the third quarter, we have run about 3.5 minutes off the clock. And the score is 21-14 in favor of the Steelers. Cowboys in the white jerseys, the dark blue numerals, silver blue helmets, and the light blue trousers. Steelers in black jerseys, gold pants, black helmets. At the 29-yard line, they're still shifting. Dorsett back to the top of the I. Now Drew Pearson in wide motion to the left. Staubach hands it to Dorsett. Swings over the left side, and he doesn't go anywhere. He was contacted solidly at the 30-yard line by Robin Cole. His momentum gave him a yard or so. Steve Furness, shaken up on the play, gets up.
Oh, that was a nifty play by Robin Cole, because Dorsett had that deep pitch and he had the fire going. He was really coming, and there was a big hole there, but Cole was able underneath to reach right across and nail him with a good, strong shoestring tackle.
Second down and 9. Shifting off the I formation to the right, Tony. Then he goes back to the top of the I. Scott Laidlaw is the fullback. Fake to the left by Staubach. He's back deep. He's being chased. He's running again. Here he comes. Up over the 30, the 35, and he's toppled at the 36 or 37-yard line. Steve Furness found him along with Donnie Shell. Mark it at the 38-yard line. Roger Staubach.
He did a full pivot in the backfield, and I think intended to throw a little safety valve to Tony Dorsett, but Dorsett was covered by the Steelers. He would have got racked up, so he kept the football and scrambled. Flag rules the referee is to be disregarded. A flag thrown on that play, but at any event, they've almost got the first down, 3rd and 1.
Trying to set up a screen, and the linebackers simply reading it too well, and he can't find it, and so he took off on his own. Now, was Furness hurt? Looked like he was shaken up. Gary Dunn has replaced him. Gary, a native of Miami, went to the University of Miami. I think it was his grandfather was one of the founders, and his father, Eddie Dunn, was a star down here. Double wing for Dallas. Now shifting. Dorsett into the backfield, taking the right wing man over to the left side. And Staubach handing off to Laidlaw. Boy, does he hit a stone wall. He tried the left side, and there was nothing there but Steelers. Jack Lambert and Robin Cole to nail him. Boom.
Oh, another super defensive play by Robin Cole. He was the man on the inside of that pile, and he met Laidlaw in his track. So the Cowboys, it's a big play. The Cowboys have to punt. The ball is at their own 30, make it the 36, 37-yard line.
Danny White in the punt for the Cowboys, standing in his own 20. T-Bell deep for the Steelers. Danny will be kicking with the wind, it appears now. It has shifted. And he gets it away. You almost lose it in the crowd here at nighttime. Down it comes to T at the 20, and he's brought down at the 24-yard line. Made his move forward, and the Cowboys were down there to get him. Guy Brown with another tackle on the coverage team for the Dallas Cowboys. With Pittsburgh leading 21-14, Steelers football continues after this timeout.
A few moments ago in that Dallas series, we told you there was a flag thrown, but the ref said it was to be disregarded. The reason was it was an illegal chuck by the Steelers, but Staubach had scrambled out of the pocket, so therefore the chuck is not to be considered. In other words, Staubach is a runner under the interpretation that you place on a situation like that under the new chuck rule. All right, the Steelers at their 24-yard line, first down.
First down, 10 Steelers. They move right to left here in the third quarter. 9:15 to play in the period. Bradshaw calling the signals. Hands it off to Franco, looking for running room to the right, can't find it. They've got him at the 21-yard line. Ed Jones. Franco finding that Dallas defense tough to penetrate on occasion, most occasions today. Now they make their switches on second and long yardage. Bruning and Lewis come out. Hegman comes in as the second linebacker. Randy Hughes is the fifth defensive back. Dave Stalls replaces Larry Cole. That will be for rushing purposes. Terry Bradshaw is ready on second down and 12 and a half. Hand off to Blyer, and Blyer drives into the left side, and there's nowhere to go. Hegman down there to plug the gap. Henderson there, and the ball at the 23-yard line. He picks up about a yard. Third down and 11.
And Bradshaw that time trying to surprise Dallas. Rocky had carried only once in a game. It was looked like a passing down, but he gave the ball to Rocky, or maybe it is simply conservative play. Super Bowl teams tend to get conservative. The Steelers sitting on a 21-14 point lead.
Swan is in the slot to the left side on third down 11. Blyer in quick motion to the right. Flag on the play. Bradshaw back, and the play is whistled dead.
Flags are down.
So the play was whistled dead, and the Steelers have illegal procedure.
Well, in this third period, Jack, the Steelers have not shown anything in the two possessions that they've had the football. It's been, compared to the first half, a lackluster third period. 7:48 remaining in the third period.
21-14 in favor of Pittsburgh. At the Orange Bowl in Miami, Super Bowl 13 is in the third quarter. Bradshaw brings them out of the huddle. Bradshaw's back deep. He fires, and is it cut? Swan with a man on him on a comebacker, incomplete. Right on him was Benny Barnes. Swan came up and then made his move back to the football. The pass is incomplete. So Craig Colquitt, who did not work in the first half, will have his second punt of the third quarter.
And Bradshaw barely got that pass away. He took a lot of time to throw, and finally, of course, his protection was breaking down. Swan almost made a nifty catch, but he did trap the ball. Waters was playing the interception, wasn't able to pull it off.
Colquitt standing at his own 5. Gets the punt away. Butch Johnson comes forward, takes it at the 46 over the 50 to Steeler 45, and dives down to the 42-yard line. So the Cowboys have the good field position on a 36-yard punt by Craig Colquitt. Pittsburgh leading 21-14. We'll be right back.
House of Sidley, the gentleman's discounter in Wilkinsburg.
Well, the pace has slowed, but now the Cowboys have the ball in excellent field position at the Steelers' 41. The Cowboy crowd coming alive as the return took the ball some 10 yards or so to the Steelers' 41. So, well, the Cowboys only 7 points back. They may have their break now in that exchange of punts. They picked up something like 30 yards on the Steelers.
Cowboys coming out of the huddle. Pat Donovan, Herb Scott, John Fitzgerald at center. Tom Rafferty or Burton Lawless playing that right guard position. Rayfield Wright at right tackle. Dorsett shifts into the tailback's position. Hand off to Dorsett. Laterals it back to Staubach, and here they go deep into the end zone, and it is incomplete. Tony Hill was the intended receiver as they handed the ball to Dorsett. He lateraled it back to Staubach, and Staubach fired deep. Greenwood coming in on Staubach. Robin Cole firing in there, and the coverage downfield was tight on Tony Hill.
Ron Johnson on the coverage, and he has good closing speed, as the scouts say, and he stayed with his man. He caught him and stayed with him, and the ball was thrown actually out of bounds in the corner of the end zone. But the Cowboys have tried another flea flicker. Their flea flickers today have not worked. They've tried a couple of them. The first one was a fumble.
All right, the Cowboys sending Drew Pearson in short motion. Pitching the ball back to Dorsett, gets over the right side, comes over the 40 and goes down at the 38-yard line. Tony Dorsett brought down at the 38-yard line by L.C. Greenwood and Donnie Shell. It will be 3rd down and 7. Closer to 3rd and 6.
Was talking to Steelers scout Tim Rooney today at breakfast, and I said, well, you're ready for those flea flickers that Landry goes to in Super Bowls. He said, if you got to go to flea flickers, he said, good, I hope they do, because that shows you're conceding something, that you need something extra like that to get by.
Shotgun formation. Staubach, single setback, direct snap back to Roger. Dancing around back there, and then he drills it downfield, and it is caught at the 30-yard line. And immediately, Preston Pearson is wrestled down by Jack Lambert and Mel Blount. But the Cowboys have a first down at the Steeler 30-yard line, firing out of the shotgun. Staubach to Preston Pearson.
Staubach now 6 for 12, Jack.
Right.
And Pearson did not like the action that Mel Blount gave him on the hit there, and I believe turned to him and said, hey, now, you know, cut out that stuff.
Billy Joe Dupree and Jackie Smith are both in there at the tight end post. Shifting their running backs around, Dorsett and Laidlaw. Now sending Jackie Smith in motion. Handing it off to Dorsett. Swinging over the right side. Breaks away from Ham at the 30 and is brought down at the 28-yard line. Plenty of coverage there. A lot of black jerseys. Ham got the initial grab, but Lambert made the stop. And they will mark it at the 29-yard line. 2nd down and 9 yards to go. Tony Hill, wide receiver, 2nd-year man from Stanford. Drew Pearson, 6-year veteran from Tulsa, sets up out to the left. And the Cowboys will run out of the I formation. Staubach inside handoff, and look at this. Scott Laidlaw ripping down the middle over the 25. And Laidlaw goes down to the 22-yard line. Lambert and Ham work together to bring him down. Laidlaw is in his 4th year. He also is from Stanford. Pressed into service when Newhouse was hurt. And Newhouse ineffective this afternoon. Replaced by Laidlaw here in the 3rd quarter. Tony Hill out, Drew Pearson out on 3rd down and 2 yards to go, and Dallas goes into a short yardage offensive formation. Billy Joe Dupree to the left and Jackie Smith to the right. He's set up as a wingback. Tight end to the right is Rayfield Wright. Handing off to Dorsett. Dorsett with that elusive running power dives and gets the first down. They apparently had him trapped behind the 20-yard line. And then he just slithered forward. Ron Johnson and Donnie Shell stopped him, but it is a first down for Dallas at the Pittsburgh 18.
A short run, but a great run by Dorsett. Jack Ham had done a terrific job of protecting the outside, walling Dorsett in, and other Steelers had come up to meet Dorsett, and they had hit him, but it's hard to hit him solid when he is going full tilt to the outside, and he was able to skitter for the first down.
Dallas at the Pittsburgh 18-yard line. First down 10. Dorsett shifting into the backfield. Now they've got a wide setback there. Staubach dropping back. Staubach runs to the right, throws, and a leaping try incomplete. He went to the tight end, Billy Joe Dupree, at the 12-yard line. On the near side of the field, Shell over to cover. Green and Greenwood had a rush on Staubach as he unloaded that football. Hurried to throw a little bit. 2nd down 10 back at the 18.
Joe Green coming hard from the blind side and almost got there. But Roger, he's had so much experience. He can sense those guys. You can tell. He may have to hurry that ball a little, but he knows when he's got to hurry it. And he did on the Cowboys' first touchdown, burn the Steelers in a blitz, just barely getting the ball away.
Staubach has them set on 2nd down 10. Shifts them wide in the backfield. Here's Staubach handing off to Dorsett, and he caught him in the blitz. He broke over the right side and goes down to the 10-yard line. Donnie Shell made the stop. as Dorsett found the running room and took it down to the 10-yard line.
Yes, Mike Wagner in a last-second move coming up to shoot that gap, to blitz through the middle, and they caught the Steelers in that one, sent Dorsett right up the right side of the middle there to the 10-yard line.
Once again, Tony Hill and Drew Pearson come out, and Andy Frederick is in, Jackie Smith in. 3rd down and 2 yards to go at the Pittsburgh 10. Down on the field, we're getting a timeout call by the Dallas Cowboys, and Roger Staubach comes to the sidelines to talk it over with Tom Landry. So with 2 minutes and 46 seconds to play in the 3rd quarter, Steelers leading 21-14. We have a timeout. The Cowboys will talk it over.
Well, the quarterback focus has shifted in this second half from Bradshaw to Roger Staubach. And though Staubach has only thrown 1 complete pass out of 3 attempts in this 3rd period, nonetheless, he came through with a couple of big scrambles for the Cowboys, reverting to the old Roger the Dodger role, and he has directed them very intelligently on this drive. We'll be back after this pause on the Steelers Football Network.
Rushing champion Earl Campbell of the Houston Oilers.
All right, the situation is the ball is at the Steelers' 10-yard line, 3rd down and a long 2 yards. The Steelers defense has been giving ground to the Cowboys, who started at the Steelers' 41-yard line after a Craig Colquitt punt. The Steelers have been giving ground, but you've seen them give ground before and then just get tough as nails inside that 10-yard line. And that's exactly what is required of them now. But they're playing the best football team in the National Conference. And as so many people have said, these are the 2 best teams in the National Football League. The Super Bowl matchup, an ideal matchup. So, with that in mind, their work is cut out from them down there in the Steeler defense. And 4 fresh Cowboys come onto the field at this point, and they now have about 15 players out there. But here come Preston Pearson off the field, and Butch Johnson, and here come 2 more. The count is down to 11.
3rd down and 2 yards to go at the Steeler 10. 2:46 on a stop clock in the 3rd quarter. Pittsburgh leading 21-14. Steelers unable to mount any offense here in the 3rd quarter. Dallas short yardage formation, 2 ends tight, double wing. Staubach brings Dorsett in motion. He's back to throw, wide open, end zone, dropped it. He went to Jackie Smith, and down in the turf, he lost it. Wide open. Jackie Smith from the tight end post. There was nobody there. He was right between the E's and Steeler in the end zone.
Ron Johnson was in the end zone. I don't know if he was Jackie Smith's man. I would doubt it seriously. But whoever was supposed to cover him on that play was not within a block of him. He was 5 yards open. He was sitting down, starting to sit down to take a throw about waist high. It hit him right in the midsection and bounced out.
All right. Rayfield Septien will try a field goal, and his holder, Charlie Waters, at the 18-yard line. 28-yard attempt. Appears to have the wind behind him. Waters kneeling. There's the snap. Septien kicks it. It is good. They call it a 27-yard attempt by Rayfield Septien. It cuts the margin of lead down to 21-17 here at the Orange Bowl in Miami.
Well, I'll tell you, Jack, if Septien would have missed that kick or had it blocked, then the Steelers would have benefited hugely. Well, that seems like an obvious statement to make, but I think that the Cowboys, having missed a touchdown on a play that by all rights should have been a touchdown, and then had they missed the field, a lot of heart out of the Cowboys. The trip, the ends, getting the 3 points, I think maintains the Cowboy momentum as they trail now by only 4 points. And the Steelers have got to get an offense going. They have possessed the football only twice in the third quarter, which now has only 2.5 minutes remaining, and they have not been able to do anything with it.
But I had predicted a 31-17 victory for the Steelers. I've got part of it now. All I need is that great field goal by Roy Jarrell and another touchdown, and I might turn into a latter-day prophet. Kickoff is hooked to the far side and out of bounds. Now we got the Steeler and the Cowboy out here still going at it against each other. Play has been whistled dead. And they will bring it back and mark off 5 yards against the Cowboys. Is that Ted Peterson out there? Second-year man from Eastern Illinois. Going at it like a couple of Gamecocks. Even after the play had been low and dead. Ray Bob Oldham on the special team unit. Steve Corson out there. Jack Ham. Sidney Thornton. Peterson. Before mentioned, Delaplane is one of the up receivers. Mosier's the other, and back very deep is Larry Anderson. This time from the 30-yard line. They will try it all over again. 5 yards marked off. Each team has been penalized 30 yards. Set the end from the 30. Kicks it high and rather long. Anderson at the 9. Up over the 15, the 20, the 25. Hit hard and brought down at the 28-yard line. The tackle made by Dennis Thurman of the Dallas Cowboys. So the Steelers this time will start at their own 28-yard line. First down and 10 yards to go.
That was a good hit by Thurman because Anderson was starting to pick up speed, and if he gets by him, maybe he has something going. But Thurman did bring him down, so they're at the 28.
They mark it at the 29-yard line. First down 10. Wideouts both ways. Dallas defense constantly shifting. And Bradshaw handing it off to Harris, driving straight ahead up over the 30 to the 32-yard line, ran into Randy White, 6'4", 250 pounds worth from the University of Maryland. Now in his 4th year. 3-yard gain.
Well, Franco Harris has only 36 yards in 16 carries. The offensive line has not been able to give him running room.
Out of the huddle they come. Kolb, Davis, Webster, Mullins, and Pinney. Grossman, the tight end. Bradshaw with a play-action fake is back there. Chased out of the pocket. Now throwing. Intended for T. Bell up at the 48. And he was horse-collared by Aaron Kyle. And the pass is incomplete. Moon Mullins, or no, that's Franco coming across. Registering a protest with the official over the Dallas. Third down 7 at the 32-yard line. Steelers leading by 4, 21-17. Bradshaw drops back again, steps forward, now runs out of the pocket to the right. Looks, throws, and up to the 44-yard line on a comeback effort. The ball is caught by T. Bell, and he's covered immediately by Aaron Kyle. And the Steelers have a first down, but we have a Steeler hurt on the play.
Moon Mullins shaken up on the play, Jack. Bradshaw scrambling out there till he could find somebody free or till somebody could get free. And finally, that is exactly what T. Bell, who was being covered by Aaron Cow, was able to do.
That's only the first down of this period, Myron. And out of 5 passes, 2 have been completed, and both of those completions have been to T. Bell, who's the second-year veteran from Arizona, playing in place of the injured John Stallworth. It advances the ball to the 44-yard line. First down 10, and this is the best move of the period for Pittsburgh.
Yes, indeed. Probably my stats are wrong, Jack. I have him with 3 for 4, but Bradshaw in this half. But in any event, it was a play the Steelers badly needed. And with the first down now, perhaps Bradshaw, with much better field position, will ditch the conservative first down play and come out with something a little stronger.
Too Tall Jones had been shaken up or had an equipment change, one or the other. He had come out and Jethro Pugh had come in, but he's back out there and Pugh comes off the field.
Interestingly enough, one of the big defensive linemen, it may have been Too Tall, that was a routine play action fake to Rocky Blyer, from which Bradshaw rolled out and threw that pass, but Too Tall went for Rocky, and I don't know why. It was so obvious. Rocky was just setting up to block, and then Too Tall says, whoops, what am I doing here? And turned around and tried to catch Bradshaw, but he was gone.
Jerry Mullins goes off the field under his own power, and Steve Corson, first-year man from South Carolina, replaces him at right guard. The muscle man from the Palmetto State. Ed Blyer in the slot to the left, and they flip a quick screen attempt out to Swan. It's incomplete. Down on his knee, trapped the ball. Terry fired a little too quickly, unsuccessfully. Second down 10.
Report from the bench is that John Stallworth is suffering leg cramps, and Jack Lambert is injured. He was struck in the abdomen with a hard helmet blow, but is expected to return.
Second down 10 for the Steelers at their own 44-yard line. They lead the Cowboys 21-17. Bradshaw calling the signals. He's got Swan right and T-Bell left. Terry's back. Fires down to the 40, incomplete on a leaping try by Lynn Swan, hit by Benny Barnes. Swan went high up in the air after that football, and Barnes came up and delivered a lick, and the pass is incomplete.
Another report from the bench, Ray Penny is having equipment problems. Moon Mullins is injured, but they have no report yet on, as we pointed out before, he was shaken up on a play, but we have no report yet exactly what the nature of his trouble is.
Here's Corson going off. Larry Brown is back in the offensive line for the Steelers. Third down 10. Terry Bradshaw under a big rush. Runs forward. They got him at the 41-yard line. Randy White on the sack for the Dallas Cowboys.
Well, they had
Randy Hughes coming from the safety position.
Exactly. They had the blitz on with Hughes blitzing from the left side of the defense, and Bradshaw saw him, and he had to move forward, but there was no place to go.
Bradshaw falling under the force of a Dallas dog. Fourth down and 12. Colquitt punting for the third time in this quarter. Butch Johnson downfield. Colquitt working into a pretty stiff breeze. They would like to have held the football and punted this one with the wind. Boy, he punts it well. There's some kind of wind going with it. Johnson backs up to the 7, comes over the 10, 15, 20, 25, and is rolled down at the 28-yard line. Fine return by Butch Johnson after a 53-yard punt by rookie Craig Colquitt of the Steelers.
Larry Anderson, the first man down there, he wasn't able to nail Butch Johnson, and then a string of 3 more Steelers took their shots, but Butch Johnson worked it out 20 yards to the, 21 yards to the 28-yard line. Not bad field position for the Cowboys.
So a 21-yard return puts the ball at the Cowboy 28-yard line. Tony Hill sets up out to the left to the far side. Drew Pearson to the right. Tony Dorsett shifts into the backfield. They move Scott Laidlaw a step closer. Hand off to Dorsett. Running to the right. Breaks 2 tackles and goes down at the 30-yard line. He broke 2 tackles and finally was brought down at the 30 by Donnie Shell. And the gun sounds the end of the third quarter at the Orange Bowl of Miami. We're at the end of the third period in Super Bowl 13. The score, Pittsburgh 21, Dallas 17.
Tony Dorsett now has 67 yards in 13 carries. Some people said, look out, you'll watch, he'll fumble the ball to that Steeler defense, but he has not fumbled today. And the Steeler defense is beginning to appear is going to have to come up with one of its patented big plays to turn the tide of this football game. The third quarter, you would have to say, was dominated by the Cowboys, because the Steelers did absolutely zilch on offense, while the Cowboys at least had one short drive from the Steeler 41 that resulted in a field goal, pretty much of a chip shot field goal for them. And they trail now by only 4 points, 21-17. The football will be put in play by Dallas at their own 30.5-yard line. Second down and, let's say a long 7.
How you doing, Myron?
Well, I tell you what, on that last run by Dorsett, and he is sparkling down there now again. Dwight White missed a tackle. He broke Dwight White's tackle, and he broke Jack Ham's tackle. And, you know, that Ham is a pretty sure linebacker right there, so Tony's got some steam going.
Second down 8. Dallas at its own 30-yard line, now moving right to left in the final period of Super Bowl 13. Wideouts both ways. Staubach, the quarterback. Here's Roger, dropping back, throwing sharply, sending it to the far side of the field. He saw something coming. He unloaded that toward Drew Pearson.
Ron Johnson covering Pearson, but he overthrew him by about 4 feet.
At least. I think he wanted to get rid of that one.
Well, he's 6 for 15 now. Not a brilliant passing performance by Staubach, but he did throw one touchdown pass, the Cowboys' first score of the game. Tony
Ray
Hill.
Oldham, we had a report, had his wrist stepped on, and so he has been taken in for x-rays.
It's getting punishing down there.
Third down 8 for the Cowboys. Shotgun formation. Staubach 5 yards behind the line of scrimmage. Snap to Roger. Swing pass to Dorsett, pulls it at 25, 30, 35, 40, and goes into the 43-yard line. Well executed play as they brought Dorsett out of the backfield on a swing to the left side, and the Steeler coverage left Dorsett wide open. And he made a fine play pulling that ball in on the fingertips and then going with it before Tony Dungy brought him down.
Yes, the pass led him by a bit, and he was able to catch up with it and pull it in. And now they are using Dorsett in a variety of ways, and that will have a tendency to freeze the Steeler defense because he's so capable of breaking the big play. They're working on the Steelers with Dorsett.
First down 10 now. Cowboys trailing 21-17. Handoff to Dorsett, and he's caught this time, brought down. Jack Lambert right there. I was going to say Lambert on the spot, and the PA guy said Lambert on the spot. I was just thinking the same thing.
Nice play by Jack Splat, who obviously has returned to is okay after suffering that blow to the belly, and Furness is back in there playing too. So some of the guys who were shaken up are okay. Or playing hurt.
I guess in the biggest game in the NFL, you'd expect to get a great PA job, but that man is super. That's one of the finest PA announcers I've ever heard.
Who is he, Rudy Valley?
I don't know who he is.
Rudy Valley?
He does a super job. Out of the I formation, second down 10. Staubach on a draw, hands it off to Laidlaw, slips over the right side across the 45 and up to the 48-yard line. Jack Ham brings him down. Aided and abetted on the play by Steve Furness. And they pick up about 5 yards up to the 48-yard line. Third down and 5 to go. Now look out. They're bringing in a whole bunch of wide receivers. Tony Hill, Drew Pearson, Butch Johnson, all in there. Preston Pearson is in the backfield with Tony Dorsett. 5 potential speedsters, and they go into the shotgun. Here's Staubach with that snap back and drilling one. Blocked. Coming over the line of scrimmage. Joe Green.
I believe it was Joe. I couldn't tell if it was he or LC. Okay, Joe, but he fired that ball too low, didn't he, Jack?
Yeah,
he had good protection.
He was going to Dorsett, short, and he threw it too low, and it was blocked, knocked down. So they will punt. Danny White is in, the third-year man from Arizona State. And we go deep with T-Bell. Punt will carry it right to left. Snap to Danny White. Very little rush. He got a late rush. Flag on the play, and the punt is down inside the 10, touched by a Cowboy at the 8. Benny Barnes down to cover. Tom Bender picked it up. He hesitated too long, and his lineman had left the line of scrimmage and broken downfield. And incidentally, Fred Anderson, the big rookie, was in there and almost got that one.
Well, he took about 4 steps. He did a little dance back there with the football, and that's what happens. Those guys don't know that he's dancing around back there before he punts it, and they got to leave the line sometime.
5 yards back to the 43.
Number 32, Dennis Thurman, was the man who was the ineligible downfield player, so they'll punt again. Scrimmage at the 43 of Dallas.
Danny White standing at his own 28-yard line this time. 12:19 to play in Super Bowl 13. Gets a low snap, gets it away, low trajectory, long punt. T-Bell backs up to the 8, out over the 10, and hit at the 14 and brought down. T-Bell nailed in his tracks by Thomas Henderson.
Well, you got to say this for the loudmouth. He's fast. He gets down there.
Good for 8.
We come to a vital point in this ball game where the Steelers need desperately to move with the football. That was a 49-yard punt and very little return on it, with Pittsburgh leading 21-17. We'll be right back.
In the ball game, a hairy 21-17 ball game. Steelers leading. Let's pause now for station identification.
House of Sidley, the gentleman's discounter in Wilkinsburg, where you buy famous name men's clothing at warehouse prices. WXKX Pittsburgh, 96KX FM.
Steelers come out of the huddle. Cowboy fans imploring their team to rise up on defense. Terry Bradshaw at his own 14-yard line, calling the signals. Bradshaw, quick pitch to Franco. Wading into the right side of the line and coming inside, tackle over the 15 and up to the 16-yard line. Larry Cole and Harvey Martin there to meet him. Martin, a 6-year veteran from East Texas State, close friend of Dwight White of the Steelers. Dwight and Joe Green call him little brother. Joe said he's gotten so good they're going to have to start calling him big brother.
Well, John Stallworth still out of the lineup, suffering leg cramps, and the Steelers going with T-Bell and Lynn Swan as the wideouts.
2nd down and 8. Swan to the right, T-Bell to the left. Bradshaw's back there. They have a blitz coming at him, and he unloads it to the far side. T-Bell goes down at the 30, charging up there. The rush from Bob Running and D.D. Lewis. Aaron Kyle coming up and going for the ball, couldn't get to it. Incomplete.
Well, they're breaking through there. They've sacked Bradshaw 4 times today. One thing you can say, Randy White, who is perhaps their best pass rusher, has not nailed Bradshaw, which means that at least Sam Davis is doing a competent job on Randy White. But they're harassing Bradshaw. He got rid of that ball. That's all he wanted to do, get rid of it.
He was 11 of 18 in the first half. In the second half, he is 2 for 9. This is the 3rd down play, 3rd and 8. They're coming at him again, and he unloads it. Looks like interference, but it is held on to at the 25-yard line. It was Randy Grossman, and we had felt that they would come to him, and Cliff Harris came up and hassled him good, but he held on to the football. 1st down at the 25-yard line.
And once again, Grossman catches that ball and takes the hit from behind as hard as you can give it to him, but hangs on to the ball. He picked up the 1st down by the margin of 1 yard.
Grossman, the soft-spoken one, extremely articulate and extremely tough. 1st down 10 at the 25-yard line. Bradshaw drops back again, and now lets it fly, and there's his man up at the 39-yard line. Lynn Swan down on his knees, takes it, and Benny Barnes hits him. So Swan comes in front of Barnes again on a hook to take the shot and advance the ball to the 39-yard line. First down 10.
All right, now the Steelers at last have some field position. As for the 5th time today, a ball is caught in Benny Barnes' territory. The terrible towels are waving across the field, a sea of them, as the Steeler crowd comes to life for the first time in this second half. 10 minutes remaining in the ball game. Steelers leading by 4.
Cowboys coming with the blitz on every play. They're poised on defense as Bradshaw calls the signals for the Steelers. Quick pitch to the left side to Franco, trying to get outside there, and he's tripped up, running to the sideline at the 43-yard line. Randy White made the stop. Gain of about 4 yards on the play as they wanted to get outside quickly. Pick up 4 yards, second down 6.
Yes, he had 3 blockers out there, and John Kolb was not able to dispose of the tackler, and Kolb was very angry with himself from his reaction. You could tell that. Had he been able to blast that guy out of there, Franco has himself a big gain.
Colt Davis, Webster, Mullins, and Pinney in there. Grossman, the tight end. T-Bell and Swan, the wide receivers. Blyer and Harris in the backfield. Bradshaw, the quarterback for the Steelers. Bradshaw's back. Here they all come, and he fires it long, lays it way downfield. There's Swan trying to get to the ball, and the flags go down. Swan is tripped up by Benny Barnes. He tripped him. Pass interference.
And he had him pinned, Jack. The ball was like a yard from Lynn Swan's reach. He was struggling desperately to get that football, but he was pinned by Benny Barnes. The play back at the 43-yard line started at the 43 and moves now to
34 yards it'll cover on the penalty. Pass interference. Brunig and Harris were firing in there that time on the Red Dog. Steelers at the Dallas 23-yard line.
Swan was trying to make a catch reminiscent of the 53-yard catch in Super Bowl X. Well, you remember he was tripped up, juggled the ball, falling backwards, and caught it falling down.
Sidney Thornton replaces Blyer. Thornton, the second-year man from northwestern Louisiana, steps into the slot on the right side. Bradshaw, quick flip out to the right flat area to Swan. It tries to get a screen, and they belt him around at the 20-yard line. Swan took it, but the screen wasn't quite there to protect him. Ed Jones and Harvey Martin administered good, strong hits on Lynn Swan at the 20. Picks up 3 yards, and he paid the price.
Oh, yeah, but he got away from Larry Cole, who had a chance to nail him at the line of scrimmage, and he fought his way past another big defensive lineman, and he gained 3 yards on the play, and it was very nifty work gaining 3 yards on that one.
The remarkable Lynn Swan at the 20-yard line, second down and 7. Thornton in the backfield with Harris. 2 big running backs. Dallas defense shifting. Bradshaw handing it off on a delay to Harris, running out to the left, looking for a cutback. Breaks a tackle, drives over the 20 and goes down at the 18-yard line. Brunig and White over there to get him. He broke 1 tackle by D.D. Lewis. Got across the 20 and maybe to the 17-yard line. Pick up of about 3 yards on the play. Blyer coming back. Thornton going off the field. Dave Stahl's in to replace Larry Cole. Hagman comes in, Brunig and Lewis out, and Randy Hughes back as a 5th defensive back. Boy, if I can emerge from this night's work with a voice.
Boy, it's hairy. Let's go. It's coming.
I thought I'd lost it in Morgantown last night on the Pitt, West Virginia basketball game.
3rd and 5.
Slot right. Wide set in the backfield. Blyer and Harris back there. Here's Bradshaw back to after him. They got it. Down he goes at the 30-yard line. Thomas Henderson came in to nail Terry Bradshaw. Now they bring it back down to the previous spot. It was whistled dead. Too much time. That one doesn't count. It was whistled dead. They mark off 5 back to the 22-yard line. Steelers now been penalized 35. Dallas had 35 before the 34-yard pass interference call. Sidney Thornton in place of Rocky Blyer. 3rd down and 9 at the 22-yard line. 7:17 to play. Super Bowl 13. The Orange Bowl in Miami. Terry Bradshaw Giving the ball to Franco through the middle, then over the 15 to 10 to 5. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. They opened it up down the middle, and the big guy went straight ahead through the hole. He knocked them loose in every direction. Over the 15, the 10, the 5, and right in there to score. And the Steelers go on the board with a TD. How about that one?
Big hole on the trap play, and the only man who had a chance to stop him was Aaron Cow, the cornerback at the 3-yard line, who has been missing tackle after tackle today on the big plays. And Franco would not be stopped. He galloped through their legs, pumping high, racing 22.5 yards to pay dirt. The terrible Cow has done it again.
85 yards, 8 plays. Colquitt holding. Jarella will kick for the extra point. Here comes an Indian on the field. No, that's that guy with a towel. They kick the point. Penalty marker goes down. Dallas was offside. The point is good. That's that same friend of yours.
That's
from
Offerman.
Pittsburgh.
That's guy from the Banaszak bunch, Larry
He's
Offerman.
being
There he
chased
goes.
around.
Stripped
He's
to the
tackled in
waist.
the end zone. They're going to pull his towels off, and he's going to be stark naked out there.
Offerman, you did it for the cause.
He's tackled in the
8
end
security
zone.
men on top of him. 8 security men. As the Steelers go out in front 27-17. He did the dance that he did through the rain in the Pittsburgh-Houston game. Steelers football continues after this timeout.
I'm an investment counselor, and one of the best things I can do for my client.
The Steelers.
Going 85 yards in 8 plays. Franco Harris gallops 22 yards on a play that he has scored on before this season. Right up the middle and angling left. Myron is gone right now to head down to the dressing room. He's got a tremendous road to run to get down there. And our buddy Tom Bender, who is here in the booth, slip it into the microphone, and we'll get a comment from him every now and then. The old ace and I used to work these things. Here's Jarella scrimming the kick down short inside the 25, picked up at the 24. Fumble! Ball loose! Still fighting for it at the 21. It is the Steelers football. No, it's Dallas's football. They're fighting for it. Who has got the football? It was fielded by Randy White. And he was hit solidly and lost the football as Jarella gave them the short squib-tight kickoff.
Randy White on the return for no gain.
They're indicating, I believe, that Dallas has maintained the ball. Boy, the Steelers had a few shots at that one bouncing out there. They still haven't rendered a decision. Pittsburgh's ball. Holy mackerel. All the way, Luke Preck said. He had the glasses on him. One official is still down there in a pileup. They apparently have an injured player down underneath. Police, welcome us to Florida.
Well, Jack, it's very, very nice to be in Super Bowl 13, to be watching it. I don't want to jinx the Steelers, but I think that that may be the play that broke the Cowboys' back. With 6:58 remaining, the big lineman had the ball. He started to run with it. He didn't really know what to do with it. Then he thought he might lateral it back, and by that time he dropped it instead of just falling on the ball and giving Dallas possession. He made a very, very costly mistake.
Dirt Winston on the recovery for the Steelers. Boy, it took them a long time to render a decision on that. The third Cowboy fumble, the second one lost. At the 19-yard line with Pittsburgh leading 28-17. Cowboys are calling for quiet. Bradshaw is back. And he's going to Swan, and Swan makes a circus catch in the end zone. Unbelievable catch for the touchdown. Swan beat 2 men. Cliff Harris was one of them, and Benny Barnes the other. He went up in the air and made a circus catch. He looked like a flying circus, and the Southern Cal Flyer pulled it in. Holy smokes, 18 yards, and they strike again.
You know, Jack, it's unbelievable. After what happened in the Houston game in those closing seconds in the first half, you figure it can't happen twice in the playoff. And you are watching the same thing happen here in the Super Bowl as suddenly the Steelers have 2 TDs in about 9 or 10 seconds.
You're right. Here is Jarrella going for it at the goal to the right. Flag on the play. The kick is up there. Have an offside call.
It's against Dallas again.
Right, so it is refused. The kick stands. The score is 34-17.
I believe it's 35.
Should be 35 now.
35.
They haven't put, there it is. There it goes up on the board. 35-17. We'll be right back.
Gotta load the pickup truck.
Gotta share a ride to work.
Gotta drop the groceries off, but first I've gotta stop at golf.
People, all kinds of people, more than 1 million a day, keep their lives moving on by making a stop along the way. At golf, the stop that keeps America going.
We give people some pretty solid reasons to stop at Gulf, like gasolines that are adjusted for better performance in your part of the country, and Gulf Pride Multi-G, a motor oil so good it lasts 1 year or 15,000 miles, whichever comes first. And when it comes to stations, Gulf gives you a choice of traditional full service or the convenience and savings of our self-serve stations. Some of our stations even offer a choice of both. Got somewhere to go? Remember, use your fuel wisely. And when it's time, stop at Gulf.
Golf, the stop that keeps America.
Well, the Steelers coming up with a big play as Jarrella squibbed that hard-to-handle kick down. And the linebacker caught it, Randy White. And as Tom mentioned, looked like he wanted to do something with it, didn't know what to do. He was whacked good, lost it. Then the scramble for the football when they uncovered it, Dirk Winston had it. And then Bradshaw throws a strike to Swan. And Swan made an unbelievable catch.
Well, it was just like we were back in 1975 when he made some of those catches right in this Orange Bowl against the same Cowboys in Super Bowl what? 10.
Listen to those fans over there, Tommy.
Fantastic.
They came all the way down here to watch this. They may stay for a few weeks just to celebrate. The mayor better get back and organize the troops. Here's the kickoff. Jarrella this time sends it high and long down to the 3. Here they come, Butch Johnson. 15, 20, running to the right, breaking tackles, flags behind him. He goes down at the 28-yard line. Butch Johnson on the return. And Jack Delaplane on the tackle. And we have a flag down against the Cowboys.
I believe a clip is called on the run back.
That is going to cost. When it starts going bad, it goes bad. Takes the ball half the distance back to the 10.5-yard line. Here is the call. It is a clipping call.
Jack, I don't think there's any question it was the 85-yard drive that really turned this ball game around. Tremendous drive when the Steelers did have their backs to the wall and the Cowboys had pulled, 21-17 within 4.
J.D. had pointed out that our club did not play well in the third quarter in 75, then came on in the fourth quarter. Staubach is back there, flips it into the left flat to Dorsett. He's up over the 10, the 15, makes a cut and goes down at the 17.5-yard line. And the tackle made by Jack Lambert. So that is the 18th pass by Roger. He's completed 8, and Tony has caught 3 for the Cowboys. And that time they pick up about 8 yards, second down and 2. The clock turns down to 6:11 in what has been a long ball game, an entertaining ball game. The third quarter was rather drab from a Pittsburgh standpoint. Dallas started to pick up momentum, but the Steelers took it right back on the arm of Bradshaw. The running of Harris, the catches of Swan, and don't forget T-Bell and a lot of other people. Staubach nailed at the 9-yard line. Standing there, and Banaszak got him. Furness was back there too, but it was Banaszak who drove into Roger Staubach. And we've got Banaszak and Furness hugging each other.
And it was really something the way he spun off that block. He was blocked solidly, and he just spun around, spun off the block, and right into Staubach, and he rocked Roger.
So a loss of about 9 yards on the sack. 3rd down and 11. Tony Dungy replaces Steve Furness to become a 5th defensive back. Clock turns down to 5:30. Shotgun. Staubach all alone, 5 yards behind the line of scrimmage. Drops back into the end zone. Steps forward out of the end zone. Now runs with the football over the 10, 15, the 20, 25, and brought down at the 27-yard line. Roger Staubach runs to a 1st down. Brings it up to the 27-yard line, and the tackle made by Jack Lambert. 1st down, number 12 for the Cowboys.
I was listening to Pat Summerall, of course, all week. Pat was extolling the virtues of the National Football Conference and the fact that the Dallas Cowboys would repeat as the Super Bowl champions. And I guess once you're a national conference, originally, of course, with the Giants, I guess you can't ever forget that the American Football Conference, but there are a lot of people who said it was Houston and Pittsburgh, the 2 best teams in pro football.
That may very well have been true, too. Staubach back now. He's firing and diving, trying the far side. Pulled in by Drew Pearson. And they roll it complete at the 45 as he edged right up on the sideline. Donnie Shell was over there to cover. So he went to the sideline and got it just in time. Lou says that Shell has come up with an apparent pulled muscle. So Tony Dungy replaces Donnie. That will be the 19th pass. 9 of them completed. 1 intercepted. 13th 1st down. Ball is at the 45-yard line. The Steelers leading 35-17. 4:22 remaining to play in Super Bowl 13. Staubach, little draw play to Dorsett. Scampers up the middle, cuts right over the 50. The 45 comes back to the left. The 40, here he comes, down to the 30, and is corralled and brought down by Ron Johnson at the 27-yard line. Vintage Dorsett running as he made about 3 unbelievable moves. Headed that way, this way, and finally Johnson got him at the 27. 1st down, Dallas.
Well, earlier in the ball game, Myron mentioned the fact that you watched him for 4 years with the University of Pittsburgh. You've seen him do that time after time. We have, and there I think he gave an exhibition. I think Dorsett would like to finish this ball game with a flourish. He'd love to break a big one.
He is a good one. Gary Dunn replacing Steve Furness. Staubach play action fake to Dorsett. Back there, standing, looking, lots of time. Now they're coming at him, and he goes down. Cut on the near side of the field at the 15 by Billy Joe Dupree. At the 16, Lauren Taves came over and made a play on him at the sideline. Dunn had the rush on Staubach, and it will be another 1st down. So Staubach shows his ability, his uncanny ability to move a club against the clock. But the clock in this case is his worst enemy because he is down by 18. At the 16-yard line, Banaszak, Green, Dunn, and White in the front 4. Ham, Lambert, and Cole are the linebackers now. Staubach standing his ground, looking, now running, backing up, throwing, drilling it down to the 8-yard line. It is caught by Drew Pearson, and he is knocked down immediately. Robin Cole made the hit on him. They will give him the 8-yard line where he was. He was driven back to the 11. So the Cowboys advance to the 8-yard line. And it is 2nd down and 2. 2:47. The clock turning. LC is back in at defensive left end. Cowboys shifting, sending Tony Hill out wide right. slot man to the left. Staubach throwing sharply out to the tight end. Dupree takes it down to the end zone and in for the touchdown. Dupree slipped into the open out to the right, and Ron Johnson tried to bring him down much the way you would grab a steer. But by the time he got the job done on the big guy, they were in the end zone. Dupree goes 6'4", 229 pounds. Johnson at 5'10", 200. Attacking a pretty big load. 22nd pass, their 12th completed. And Dupree scores the touchdown on the pass from Staubach. 35-23. Septien kicks for the point after. It is good. So it is 35-24 in favor of the Steelers. We'll be back after this pause on the Steelers Football Network.
Hi, I'm Alan.
Will kick. Anderson is deep.
One on a Monday night and one on a Saturday night.
Sunday night.
Or Sunday night. Whatever it was in L.A. out there in the mud.
You don't know.
All right, here they are shifting, and they're going for that short kickoff. They got it. Steeler contacted it. Tony Dungy couldn't hold it. And Dennis Thurman came firing through there to get it. As they shifted to the left and angled the kick to the left to the near side. And that would have to be ruled as a fumble.
Recovered the onside kick.
Well, Dungy.
So the Cowboys have done that. A tough thing to execute, particularly when you're expecting it that much. And now at the 48, it is 1st and 10.
Unfortunately, Dungy had that ball. He had it, and he just couldn't hold on to it.
35-24 in favor of the Steelers. Super Bowl 13. Shotgun formation for the Cowboys. Now they bring Pearson back there beside Staubach. Direct snap. He's back and looking. Steps forward, drills it to the 45-yard line, incomplete. He went to Dupree, and Dupree was hit by Jack Ham and lost it incomplete.
Also, the Cowboys get a break in the 2-minute timeout. They won't have to call a timeout to stop the clock. They get a break there on the incomplete pass, so they might be able to get two more plays in before the 2-minute warning.
Donnie Shell had returned to the game. Now he goes off, and Tony Dungy comes back.
I'm starting to get a little nervous.
Got to stay calm at all times. LC, Joe Green. In that forward wall, White. Furness is in there as a down lineman. Direct snap back to Staubach, and here he is firing. Caught by Drew Pearson at the 35. Breaks the tackle and goes down to the 30-yard line. Drew Pearson caught it, wheeled away, and Ron Johnson got him at the 30-yard line, and we get the 2-minute warning. The automatic timeout, and Steelers football continues after this timeout. The imperturbable class that has made him an outstanding quarterback in this league, as he was as a Heisman Trophy player at the U.S. Naval Academy, and directing this club to a touchdown, and then Dallas executing perfectly the onside kick, and then Staubach coming back again and finding his target. A fine catch and a great rolling play away from the tackle down to the 30. Cowboys have 2 minutes in which to operate, and the Steeler defense aligned out there with Wagner and Dungy as the safeties. Shell apparently having some problems, injured just a little bit earlier in this period. Cowboys 1st and 10 at the Steeler 30. Now they shift. Pearson and Dorsett are the running backs. Staubach drops back. Here they come after him. Do they have him? He keeps stumbling around and going forward. They really touched down at the 40. It's a sack. They were flying in there. White was coming. Joe Green was coming. So what they did, they toppled him over, and he touched down. So with contact from a defensive player and the touch to the ground, it is a sack and a loss of 10 yards. But Staubach just didn't want to stop, did he?
No, and can you imagine if he would have been able to regain his feet and thrown for a touchdown, but it wouldn't have been legal? And what would have happened with these Dallas fans? But they're trying to protect him, right?
It is 2nd down and 20. Clock turning down to 1:35. The clock kept moving on that play. Roger drops far back. Steps forward. Now he goes to the sideline over to Dorsett. Dorsett takes him and doesn't go out of bounds at the 39-yard line. Dorsett tackled by Jack Ham, and Dorsett made no move to go to the sideline. He tried to wheel inside. That was not a smart play.
No, it wasn't. What he thought he could do, he thought he could spin out of the arms of Jack Ham and cut back on the inside, but there's no way that Tony should have done that as that clock keeps ticking.
I think he had visions of a big gainer, you know. All right, they're ready to go. He's working out from under center. Drops back. Here he's going for the end zone. He throws it deep. Throws it into the crowd. Going for Tony Hill. Overthrow him to the side. Out of bounds. Ron Johnson back to cover. Could not reach the ball. Furness shaken up again on the play. 52 seconds remaining in the ball game. Steelers 35, Dallas 24.
Furness's left ankle appears to be injured or re-injured, and he's having a problem. He's coming off.
He had that ankle stepped on in the warm-up for the opening game, Tom, up at Buffalo. Missed an awful lot of playing time this year. It's the 4th time it's been hurt? 4th down, JD's saying.
Well, it now appears that the Steelers have managed to do something no other NFL team has done, and that's win Super Bowl number 3, a tremendous record and a tremendous honor for owner Arthur Rooney.
The goal was to win this one and to become the team of the 70s and to establish some identity for a man they admired, Chuck Noll. Joe Green is going over to the sideline now. The Steeler fans are standing and cheering and applauding him.
Well, what did you say the final score would be? 31-17.
I said 31-17.
You didn't miss it by much.
It wasn't too far off. I thought it would be more of a wide open scoring ball game than we'd seen in other Super Bowls, and it's been a good one. It's not over. 52 seconds. They go into the shotgun. 4th down and 18. One big play left for Staubach unless he gets the yardage. Here goes his pass. Drew Pearson on a great catch. Wagner had him.
Unfortunately,
now they want to fight. Wagner made the tackle at the 13-yard line, had him up in the air, and then bodies were flying. Then they came after Mike. What a catch by Pearson.
Gain of 25.
Now Pearson's injured down under that. Now we're going to get undoubtedly somebody will start blaming that on Wagner, but Wagner had him and was not banging him at all. He was trying to establish some approach to terra firma when they started hitting in there, and they wound up all banging down.
Well, I think it was a member of the Cowboys who came up there and belted his own man, actually. And I didn't pick up his number, but he came up and he got a pretty good shot in. And I have no idea why. There's no way that Mike was going to release him.
Phone call comes up that Steve Furness has gone to the dressing room with that injured left ankle. Drew Pearson has just made a sensational catch. He's okay. He's coming off under his own power. Cowboys have moved to the 13-yard line. 41 seconds remaining.
And then we have that onside kick if they get in.
Yeah, they'll do it again. But right now, you've got to head them off here. It is 1st down and 13. So you get them in a little more confined area.
Well, it gets a little tougher.
Let's see if they will go to the pass or, well, they've almost got to. Unless they figure they can break something and scamper Tony Dorsett through there.
Well, I think also we can also go back and see how important it was that Dorsett did not go out of bounds when he made that catch, and he was trying to pick up more yardage instead of just taking it, and I guess a more seasoned player would have stepped right out.
Butch Johnson out to the right and Tony Hill to the left. Staubach from under center takes the ball, drops back, steps forward at him with the shoulder. He throws under duress to Dorsett at the 10. Dorsett's at the 5. Dorsett driven out of bounds around the 3-yard line. Mike Wagner made the play on Dorsett inside the 5. They had Roger by the shirt. He managed to step forward, and he's giving some kind of a performance. As they applied as much pressure as you could apply to a man, he stepped forward and hit Dorsett, who appeared to be a safety valve man, and he took off and was finally cornered, chased out of bounds. They roll at the 4. It will be 2nd down and 1 at the Steeler 4. 32 seconds. The clock stops on the out-of-bounds play. Drew Pearson is back in. He's okay. Here come the Cowboys at the 4. Staubach back there. They're after him. He throws as he's falling. It's incomplete. Staubach was losing his footing under pressure from L.C. Greenwood, going into the end zone to Preston Pearson, and came in short, and Pearson could not handle it. Incomplete. 28 passes, 15 of them completed, 1 intercepted. 26 seconds on the clock. The ball is at the 4, 3rd down 1.
I would think at this point the Steelers are putting a little more pressure on Staubach. For a while there, they were in that prevent, with only a 3-man rush and 8 men dropping back, and he was getting a lot of time. Now they're starting to fire through there. They know they've got to get at him.
Mel Blount picks up the wide man to the left. Ron Johnson picks up the wide man to the right. Staubach takes the ball. Now he's looking, pumps, throws, open man, touchdown, fires into the end zone, and Butch Johnson slipped in behind the defenders, and Staubach hits the touchdown pass with 22 seconds on the clock. Isn't it amazing how you can bog down, as the Steelers did in the 3rd quarter, and come firing back? How Dallas bogged down in the 4th quarter. The Steelers get in the driver's seat, and now under the pressure, Staubach is able to operate and come back and bring his team back to within 5. It's been that kind of a ball game.
And now the Steelers, of course, are thinking about only one thing, and that is getting that onside kick.
Septien will try for the point after. It's up there. It's good. The score is 35-31 in Super Bowl 13. 22 seconds to go, and the Cowboys will try it again on the kickoff.
It's unbelievable, because when they had the ball deep in the... Oh, you cut away? I'm sorry. I thought you had cut away. When they had the ball inside the 20-yard line not too many minutes ago, and all of a sudden the fans got up, they started to leave, they figured, forget it, it's all over. Suddenly they are within 4 points, and we have another onside kick, and shades of that Baltimore Colts game so many years ago, when the Colts came back, or the Lions, I guess, came back and scored 3 touchdowns in the last couple of minutes of play. This is not over yet. With 22 seconds. Woo! They've got Jack Ham up on that front alignment. Jack used to run punts and kickoffs back for Penn State.
I think that Byron just left too early.
Oh, I don't think there's any question.
I think he should have stayed here.
I hope I didn't jinx you.
No, not you. Just the fact that he didn't have the endurance to fight that crowd. He left too early, and he got away. The towel's still here, but he's not here to wave it. He has to be held responsible. Okay, they're going to kick it off. Teed up at the 35. Now the mission here is to get the ball. Let's see if they will kick it to this side again. We've got Ham over here. Jim Mandich playing the final game of his career. Here it is, what will be his hometown of Miami. Tony Dungy over here. Here they come again. Now they kick it straight forward, and it is recovered by Rocky Blyer at the 45-yard line.
Blyer recovers the onside kick.
Oh, dependable Rocky Blyer, who made that fine catch of a touchdown pass by Terry Bradshaw.
A panel of media representatives has just finished voting.
Well, it's just unbelievable that the Steelers could have a 35-17 lead with almost 6 minutes left, or 5 minutes plus.
They've just announced that Bradshaw has been named the most valuable player in this game. Sport Magazine Award. He'll receive a new car. Bradshaw takes the snap and goes down. Clock is turning down to 17, and the Cowboys stop the clock. 35-31, ladies and gentlemen.
They're shaking hands down there already. The Cowboys and the Steelers, some of them were shaking hands. What a ball game. What a wind-up. 35-31. We thought that it might be a runaway in the last few minutes. But Roger Staubach, I remember he was the last team to quarterback Navy that beat Penn State up at Penn State. And what an afternoon he had as a junior. He won the Heisman Trophy.
Well, they often discuss that phase of the game from the quarterbacking standpoint and debate about who can do it best. The workman that I remember in his good days was Bobby Lane, who could work against that clock, you know, to perfection. Now they seem to lean toward Stabler or Staubach or possibly Greasy. Well, Staubach has given a fine exhibition out here in the closing moments of this game. A lot of teams would have just folded up their tent. Really.
Right. You hit it.
They've hung in there, you know. They did not want to be embarrassed. Here is Terry taking the snap, falling down on the turf, and the Cowboys are out of timeouts. Bradshaw is coming off the field with the game ball. Steeler fans are coming out of the stands. Ladies and gentlemen, the 1978 season is over. Super Bowl 13, captured by the Pittsburgh Steelers, the first team in the history of the NFL to win it 3 times. An incredible season, which wound up with a record of 14-2. Now 3 playoff victories, a final recording of 17 wins, 2 losses, and the big one over the Dallas Cowboys, 35-31. With explosive football in the first half, explosive football in the fourth quarter, and a great game for the sellout crowd here at the Orange Bowl. That's the end of Super Bowl 13. The final score, the Steelers 35, the Cowboys 31. We'll have our Super Bowl wrap-up in a minute.
The Racket Club in Monroeville is a super place to go. Now, why in the world would somebody say that? There are a lot of places you can go to play tennis, true. There are places you can go to play racquetball and handball and squash, but normally they're separate facilities. At the
A quarterback makes a big difference. I think Bradshaw played just a little bit better today. I think he's had a great year. It's a perfect end to a guy who's taken his knocks over the years, hasn't said anything, came back, has run this club all year long, and I think every accolade he's been given is deserved.
The Steeler motto, it's been the same for many years, whatever it takes. And today, they gave that kind of performance. And they got it from different places. They got it from some second-line people. They got it from T-Bell when he had to come in from Stallworth. They got it from special teams people. They got it from Franco Harris. They held him down, and then he got pumped all of a sudden. He said, I'm going into that end zone, and he did. I think it's exciting to see the kind of football we've seen today.
Enjoyed being with you and enjoyed being here.
Nice going, guys. So the Steelers are the world champs. They win 17 out of 19 this year. Dallas loses. They stop an 8-game streak, but they lost with great courage. And this will go down as the best Super Bowl of them all. And right now, let's go to Dick Enberg.
And congratulations, men. A superb job. We'll have highlights. We'll get into that locker room, get the comments from the athletes who took part in today's game. We'll be right back with more of Super Sunday after these messages from your local station.
I am in your body and you're in mine.
And that's what Turnabout is all about.
Ours. Congratulations, Steelers.
Bowl in Miami continues to be the good luck bowl for the Super Bowl. As we mentioned earlier, Game 3, that was the Jets' surprise victory over the Baltimore Colts. In 5, the most dramatic win, perhaps other than this one, when Jim O'Brien kicked the field goal to win it for Baltimore. In Game 10, Pittsburgh beat Dallas 21-17, and it's Pittsburgh again, an unprecedented 3rd Super Bowl championship. As Terry Bradshaw set Super Bowl records, most yardage passing, 4 touchdown passes, and Pittsburgh beats the Dallas Cowboys 35-31. Super Sunday on NBC continues, brought to you by Gillette, maker of Atra, America's original pivoting head razor. And by Canon, quality camera and photographic equipment for first-time or full-time photographers. And by the 1979 Volkswagen Rabbit and Rabbit Diesel. The Pittsburgh Steelers hold off the gallant charge of the Dallas Cowboys to win Super Bowl 13, 35-31. First time ever that a team has won 3 Super Bowls, the highest scoring Super Bowl in history. And there's the owner, Art Rooney, who waited so many years, decades, to finally get a championship. And suddenly they're coming in bouquets for Mr. Rooney, one of the most liked men in all of sport. And he's about to receive the Vince Lombardi Trophy on behalf of his Pittsburgh Steelers. He is a patriarch in every sense of the word. He's the father of this franchise, and he is a father to the athletes themselves. I can't recall ever seeing so much admiration for the athletes as they have in the town of Pittsburgh for Mr. Arthur Rooney.
Yes, I do.
We have highlights before we go down into the locker room of the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yeah, maybe I will.
Turnovers were a key in the first half of the game. Chuck Knoll, as you can see, with Pete Rozelle, the commissioner, and Mike Adamle of NBC, Mr. Rooney. And let's go now to Mike Adamle in the winner's dressing room.
Thank you very much, Dick. Well, I have to pinch myself to see if I'm awake. This is the most amazing time I've ever been involved in. It is my pleasure to introduce the commissioner of the entire National Football League, Mr. Pete Rozelle, and he's got a very special presentation to make.
Mr. Rooney, you've been in the National Football League since 1933. And during those 46 years, you've had one of the most popular families in sports. Now, of course, you become the first team to win 3 Super Bowl games. And I know that in addition to your great coach here, Chuck Knoll, you must be especially proud to have 2 of your sons, Dan and Art, play such a great job on the management side to help Chuck and this great bunch of football players. Congratulations.
I want to congratulate Chuck Knoll and his staff and ball players and my boy Danny and Artie. This was a great day. Thank you.
Congratulations, sir. Coach? Coach? Congratulations, sir. It's my pleasure to work in the locker room.
Good. You know, I said one thing about to our football team after the game, and I sincerely believe it. I don't think we've peaked yet. And we're looking forward to even bigger and better things.
Yeah. Congratulations. Back to you, Dick.
So the Pittsburgh Steelers and the faces tell the entire story. The joy of victory. 3 Super Bowl championships. They beat the Cowboys 35-31. Much more for you, including the controversy of the second half of this Super Bowl. We'll return to the Orange Bowl in Miami right after we pause for this word. At halftime to conclude the ceremonies of those festivities, and they all but popped out the lights on the scoreboard at Miami's Orange Bowl tonight, the highest scoring Super Bowl ever, 35-31. The Pittsburgh Steelers have prevailed over the Dallas Cowboys, but not without some controversy. Let's go to the fourth quarter. At the time, Pittsburgh led by only 4 points, and a drive perhaps stalling when Terry Bradshaw went long to Lynn Swann. Was this interference by number 31, Benny Barnes? They trip over each other, certainly not intentional by Barnes, but ruled a foul. Interference against the Dallas Cowboys sustains the drive. Franco Harris bolts up the middle, and that makes it 28-17 Pittsburgh. The Cowboys